What's up, sports fans? It's your man D back, speaking my sports talk. All right, check it out, man. Errol the True Spence. Yeah, he's coming back to boxing. We at least know that. But is my dude Errol the True Spence alive? For the love of sports, let's talk about it. All right, man. Y'all know what time it is. It's all about Errol Spence and Terrence Bud Crawford. Look, man, this shit been going down on YouTube. YouTube as well, but Twitter. I'm pretty sure by now everybody heard of the Twitter beef that's going on. Even if you don't have Twitter, I'm pretty sure you heard of the beef. Or, the back and forth that was going on between these two, Errol Spence and Bud Crawford. I mean, it got heated, man. It got heated, sure enough. And, Crawford was just pretty much laying it all on the line. And even as a Spence fan myself, and a lot of these other Spence fans, they got to just realize, man, there's no reason he shouldn't make this fight. And it's a duck. Like, at this point, he's ducking that smoke, man. What it do, Gun Rice Mafia? What's up with you, bro? What happened? Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford going back and forth on Twitter. We ready to talk about it right now. How can he be alive when he unified WBC? Man, you just stick around, Terrell Knox. I'm gonna get back to you anyway. Salute, my brother. What's up, Vanity? What's up, bro? Appreciate you. Augustine, what's up, dog? What's good? Chin Smoke in the building. So, Terrell Knox, because you are the defense attorney for the PBC, so I guess you're gonna be the first to start. Listen, Terrell Knox, you go right on Fight Hype. I would pull the video up and share it, but I really don't feel like it. But you can go right on Fight Hype yourself. This is coming from Errol Spence's mouth. Here's one lie. They came from his mouth, and he lied, bro. Okay? And you can go pull it up, Terrell Knox. Errol Spence says on Fight Hype, before he fought Porter, I'm going to go over here and take care of this Porter fight, snatch this belt up. Then I'm going to come back to the negotiation table, and let's see if we talk 50-50. Terrell Knox, Errol Spence said this. It's right on Fight Hype. And after he went and fought Sean Porter and took Sean Porter's belt, as he said he would, Terrell Knox, he did not go back to the negotiation table. As a matter of fact, he did not even call, mention, or talk about Bob Arum or Terrence Crawford after the fight. But before the fight, he said that's what it was about. That, Terrell Knox, was a lie right there. That was just one lie. So that's just to satisfy your question. Now I will continue with this video, Terrell Knox. So anyway, like I was saying, Errol Spence, bro, like, he's got to step up, man. He's got to step up and make this fight happen. Nothing is more important than this fight right now. I don't want to hear about this side of the street nonsense. Manny Pacquiao's team said they did not fight either of them. So Errol Spence can kill that side of the street nonsense. That's done with. The first time he came when they met each other at the arena, and he said, let me go ahead and clear out this side of the street. Well, there's no more to clear out because he has 2 belts, and Pacquiao's team said they're not fighting him. They're not fighting him. They also said that they're not fighting Crawford. So there's no more work for Spence to get done on that side of the street. It's nothing else left to do. What up, D? New Orleans? All right. That's what's up. That's what's up, Gretna. New Orleans in the building. Hey, y'all looking good down there too, man. Alabama might win the championship. New Orleans Saints look hot for the man. What if y'all get the Super Bowl and the championship, Gretna? Man, y'all looking good down there in the NO. No doubt. Appreciate you coming through. My man Freddie G, what's good with you, brother, man? Black Horseman in the building. What's up, bro? What's up, my man? Appreciate you, dog. Get this smoke. I see you out there. Spence got in a car crash after being Porter. How you calling him a lie? Yeah, you just listen up. You'll get it. He lied about more than one thing. How can you not say he's lying? But I know how you and Terrell Knox all get this smoke. You guys are the PBC defense attorneys. Boxing Monster in the building. What's good with you, dog? Appreciate you. Wooly boy. Terrell Knox, how can he call himself a world champ when he's not even the best in America? Crawford got him shook. Yeah, man, you know, we know how it goes. Some of these people just get in denial. They can't get out, fam. You know how that goes. Peace out, Iron Cone. What's good with you? So, guys, let me get back to this, man. Let me get back to this guy. My guy, Errol Spence. So, and like Spence keep doing it to himself, bro. Like, it's not like people like me losing faith in him. This shit Spence is doing is causing at least honest fans to lose faith in him. So E-Punch, what's good with you, fam? So Spence says, I want to fight the top names in the division, whether it's Manny Pacquiao, Terrence Crawford, or Danny Garcia. I want to be undisputed welterweight champion of the world. Now, Danny Garcia has nothing to do with undisputed. See? Here's contradictions, guys. If, you know, again, when they met up before, Spence said, let me clean out this side of the street, and then we make our fight. Okay, Danny Garcia's name shouldn't even be in this statement. That motherfucker don't have a belt. He don't have a belt. See? Here's the foolishness, bro, that a lot of you Spence diehards and fanboys don't want to accept. This is the foolishness. Danny Garcia shouldn't even be mentioned right here. That's not cleaning out that side of the street. Man, fuck that mandatory smoke. And he's not even going to take that mandatory anyway. It's probably going to be Quadrito Abdulkakarov for the IBF mandatory. You just on those damn narratives again, Smoke. You right with the LDBC and the PBC fanboy narratives right now, bro. Because no one cares about the Danny Garcia being a mandatory, bro. No one cares about that. Spence won't get stripped. You think the WBC going to strip anybody in the PBC? No. So why are you even bringing up a mandatory, bro? This is the nonsense. Quadrito Abdulkakarov is a mandatory, I believe, for the IBF. They will strip him. That's more important. That's a fight I think that he should take because Abdulkakarov would be a tune-up, which he needs a tune-up. He's the number one contender, but he is not one of the top boxers. So that's the mandatory that he should take. Don't nobody want to hear nothing about no Danny Garcia because that's just another fucking excuse. And as Gun Rights Mafia just said, unifications trump mandatory. Period, bro. Period. So stop the nonsense. Just stop the nonsense, bro. Really. And you know, all of these excuses. But like I was saying anyway, though, you know, Danny Garcia's name shouldn't even be in this statement by Errol Spence. You know, he clearly said once he goes over there and handles business, take the belt from Sean Porter. Once he goes over there and do that, we'll come back to the negotiation table. Right? This is what he said. I'm going to go handle this, take this belt. Then I'm going to come back to the negotiation table, and let's see if we talk about 50-50 then. Well, the nigga didn't go back to the negotiation table. He didn't go back. Clearly, he won the belt. There's the belts. Both of them on his. This was before the accident. He didn't go back to the negotiation table. As a matter of fact, he came in an interview, and he did not even say Terrence Crawford's name, bro. There were more names on the list that he was talking about that don't even have belts. What happened to cleaning out this side of the street first? See, y'all act like none of that stuff happened. Like he never said any of those things. Yeah, now y'all want to lean on mandatories and all of this. What about what Spence said? Danny Garcia being a mandatory isn't a narrative. It's a fact. Who cares about that, Smoke? I don't want to hear no Danny Garcia being a mandatory is a fact. What else is a fact? Get this, Smoke. The WBC don't fucking strip or enforce any mandatories. They don't do that. That's a fact. So shut up that bullshit about Danny Garcia being a mandatory. Because if you're going to sit there and admit that that's a fact, then you must admit that it's a fact that the WBC don't enforce no mandatories. So why are you talking about Danny? That's where the narrative comes in. Because it may be a fact, but you can use facts to push narratives. You always try to come up here and say, oh, this is a fact, this is an opinion, you can't prove it. Like you cannot use facts to push narratives. That's what makes narratives sound more believable when you back them up with facts. So carry on with that bullshit, get this smoke, because it's not going to work here. It's not going to work here. So you can just stop your nonsense right now, bro. Salute T-Tone in the building. Salute to you, my man Remy in the building. What's good, Remy? Chin Smoke, I see Jackal Davis. What's good, bro? We trying to get, an undisputed champion. Tell me about it. Heavyweight division and welterweight division. And there's both PBC fighters holding it up. Ain't y'all tired of talking about the same shit? Y'all falling right into the bottom sides of the drumming. Man, that's what it is. That's what boxing talk is, Samuel. Everybody gonna talk about the same shit. I'm really, I did say this about this Spence fight. Whether we drum it up, talk about it all year or not, it ain't happening this year. We're going to be talking about this fight all year. And it's just the beginning of the year. But I hope a lot of people understand that no matter what happens, no matter how much heat you put on Errol Spence Jr., this Bud Crawford and Spence fight ain't happening in 2020. Maybe 21, but not in 2020. Let me drop this link in here. In case anybody want to jump up here, man. Smoke, it's too early in the morning for you to start that bullshit you on, dog. You need to start accepting the bullshit that comes out of the PBC side, because all you do is sit up there and defend it, bro, which is no good. I mean, that just shows fanboyism. You want to sit up here and talk about what's a fact and what's not. Nigga, you know damn well that's how you get narratives to go forth. You push them with facts. You have to have some facts that adds validity to a narrative. Get this smoke. What's up, Tim W? My man Tim W in the building. John Moreno, we have to talk about it. They're champions at the top of the division. Buffoon. Yeah, Samuel Shaw, you buffoon. You heard what John Jr. Moreno said. We got to talk about it. They champions in the division, you buffoon. They're going to link in the chat in case anybody want to call. The inside line, what's good with you, dog? Yeah, and get this smokable food. Talking about that's a fact. That's a fact. Man, come on. Cut that shit out and get this smoke. Here's a fact for you get this smoke. Here's a fact for you right here. You see these guys here? Champions. Champions. At one point, these were the 4 champions. Now, Keith Thurman couldn't keep his belt because he let a 40-year-old take him out. And so now Manny Pacquiao's in this picture. Okay? Then Sean Porter went to unify with Errol Spence, and he lost his belt. So now the 2 guys at the top, those are the 2 guys that can actually make a fight, where both teams claim to want it, but only one team showing that drive to want it. See, Pacquiao's team said they don't want to fight the 2 guys at the top. Errol Spence claims he wants to unify the division. He wants to wipe everything out. But he ain't signing for the Crawford fight. See, Crawford wanted to smoke, and he wanted it with all of them. So I believe Crawford fully. I have no problems with it. Believe Crawford fully because he's trying to fight them all. Errol Spence claims he wants the Crawford fight, but the opportunity's now. I mean, after his tune-up and everything, which I believe he needs a tune-up, but after that, our opportunity is now. Look at this. This right here is Terrence Crawford going in on Errol Spence. Going in on Errol Spence on Twitter. I hope y'all can see this because this is what it's all about. This is where all of it came about. He said, I'm ready when you ready. Matter of fact, I've been ready for before I even had a 147-pound fight. Like I've been said, got these people fooled, but not me. Whenever you get back right, I'll smoke you all. You see, look, man. He want him to be back right, dog. He said, whenever you get back right, he don't want him. That's what I was saying a couple of weeks ago. Terrence Crawford don't want an Errol Spence coming off of an injury, a half-ass Errol Spence. No, he want to be the best Errol Spence. Or at least he wants to fight the best Errol Spence. I'm not just giving Bud the win. Spence still my guy, bro. And I've changed the odds. I got Bud winning the fight. I got to put Bud ahead, but it's not a gimme fight. Spence can still beat him. He's still off if he's in tip-top shape. But you know what I mean? He said, when you get back right, I'll smoke you all. I'll smoke you. All you got to do is sign the contract. That's it. Just sign the contract. He said, sign it, and I'm on your head, nigga. Then he told all of you stupid Spence fans in the second comment, keep defending him because I'm telling all y'all now. And I mean what I say. When that day comes, when I knock him, when I knock him, all I want, all y'all to keep that same energy because he's going to cry in the car. He wasn't built for this shit. Hey, man, Terrence Crawford talking greasy. Probably upstairs in the room. Terrence Crawford talking greasy, bro. Do y'all hear this? Y'all see this? Like, this ain't me, bro. I didn't make this up. And stop using the fucking promoters, managers, and advisors for the weak-ass excuse. Y'all doing that work for us. See, man, look, man. Look. Terrence Crawford was going in on Errol Spence, man. This man was going in on Errol Spence. This is not me making this up, bro. Y'all can go get this right off of Twitter yourself. What's up, Smoke? What's good with you?
Yeah. Oh, man, everything's lovely. Thanks for asking. How are you?
I'm good, bro. I'm good.
Well, we talking that crap early in the morning this time.
Hell yeah, I'm talking this crap early in the morning because I woke up this morning and I had like 20 DMs and I'm like, bro, did you hear? Did you hear? And I'm like, what did I hear? What? All of these fucking DMs and text messages. Then I see it was a Twitter back and forth with Spence and Crawford. So I go on the Twitter and start reading the DM and I'm like, I'm gone, bro. I'm like, wow, this is crazy. Because Terrence Crawford was going in on Errol Spence. Lydia, what's up? What's up, sis? Appreciate you coming through.
I thought, are we talking about the same Twitter thing? I thought it was like Terrence Crawford's sister and some fans.
Well, it was Terrence Crawford was in. Man, didn't you just see the tweets? I just put them up there, bro. This ain't Terrence Crawford's sister.
No,
this. There you go. Those are Terrence Crawford. Those tweets are from Terrence Crawford himself.
No, that's what I said. Terrence Crawford, his sister, and some fans.
Yeah, it was Terrence Crawford. It was some of Buzz boys. They was going in. It was some of Crawford's fans. It was a lot of Spence fans defending, but Crawford wasn't talking to all of them. He was talking directly to Spence. Letitia Crawford, I'm linked up with her on Twitter anyway. Have been for a minute. She's good people, bro. She knows the sport, and she just speaking, what she feels about her brother. But this ain't new for her. So, I've seen this stupid video put up like they trying to jump on Bud, but jump on Spence, but she been putting out tweets about Spence. This ain't nothing new with Letitia Crawford. She been doing that. Bud's sister.
I know. I'm just trying to make sure I'm not. We're talking about the same group of tweets.
It was the same shit. It was the same shit, and same tweets and stuff with Spence. Like I said, man, I'm a Spence fan, so I don't care what people say about this shit, bro. I really don't. I'm a Spence fan. I'm just an honest fan. I'm not gonna. He is hiding behind management and all of that, bro. I said this about other fighters before.
Wait, who's hiding behind management? Who are you saying is hiding behind management? You saying Spence is hiding behind management?
And all of that, Spence is.
Oh, not Crawford. Crawford's not hiding behind management. It's Spence that's doing this.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so all right. That's an interesting take. So, then everybody knew when Crawford signed to Top Rank that this fight was going to be harder to make, right? Why did they know that?
Because Bob Arum and Heyman don't get along. We all know that.
Right. So how is that Spence hiding behind management?
Because my guy right now, Tyson Fury, is not fighting Wilder once, but signed to fight with him twice.
Okay.
Okay, hold on, because I ain't finished. And he's already fought with him once. This is the heavyweight division, the much bigger division.
Mm-hmm.
And it fights 3 fights. No problem. Gonna be made. Now all of a sudden, Bud Crawford has to be with PBC for anything to get done. Spence waited 5 fucking years to get a valid fight. 5 years. He just got it with Porter. Waited 5 years to get a valid fight. But the answer is Crawford coming to the PBC. See, that is another narrative. That's a narrative. He didn't have to come to the PBC to make this fight happen. 3 fights happening in the heavyweight division. Way more popular. Big stars. Deontay Wilder. 3 fights happening. So this side of the street shit is nonsense, bro. They can make the fights happen, okay? And it's just like Terence Crawford said to Errol Spence earlier today. Stop hiding behind the managers and all of that. If you want the fight to happen, you could go tell them, no, fuck all of them fights. This is the fight I want. He said the truth is, stop lying to the fans that they work for you motherfuckers. They work for us. And this is the truth, bro. He don't have to take the fight just because Al Heyman suggests this or suggests that route or suggests that. He doesn't have to go that route. He can take the fight that he wants to take. And if that shit ain't happening right now.
So two things were glaring in what you just said to me. One was that he hasn't had a meaningful fight in 5 years. I think Kell Brook was a meaningful fight.
No, I didn't say that. No, I didn't. No. I'm not even going to continue because I did not say that. I say he was not able to get a valid fight. And I should have been more clear from one of these fucking PBC fighters for 5 years. Kell Brook didn't fall under that. What I was mainly talking about was Thurman. I was talking about Porter. I was talking about Danny Garcia. Those guys, the PBC fighters that are still ducking Terence Crawford. They ducked Spence. They ducked Crawford. Porter took them on. But it took him 5 years to get at these PBC fighters. So I won't talk about no Kell Brook. I'm not even going to let you slide and make that into something. I'm talking about the PBC fighters and the PBC motto that's happening right now with Bud Crawford. That shit happened with Spence. So coming to the PBC won't the answer. Now you can go ahead.
Okay, cool. Thanks for clearing that up because I didn't know what you're talking about. So the other part of it, and we can get back to that if you like, because there's,
I don't care,
we do. I mean, because you sort of gloss over that it was Thurman that was the champ. Everybody was going after Thurman's belts, and he was injured for like 2 of those years. But anyway, but you're looking at because anyway, we can just move on.
Spence was going after all 3 of them, not just Thurman. He was going after Thurman's belts, but he was going after Danny Garcia. He was going after Sean Porter as well, and he was yelling their names out, and they wouldn't fight him. So I didn't gloss over anything.
Right, because those 2 guys, the guys that Spence was trying to fight, were trying to fight Keith Thurman. But anyway, regardless, and then those 2 guys fought each other, and all 3 of those guys fought. And now he's fighting them. It maybe didn't happen in the time that you wanted it to happen, but there was a Keith Thurman.
It's not about what I wanted. It's about the answer to Crawford coming over and it happening so quickly. It's not about what I want. What I'm saying is bullshit because it didn't happen for Spence. They decided, like you just said, to fight each other, to fight Keith Thurman, to run all around.
I also said he was injured.
Okay, well, it's not about what I want. It's about what happened. And what happened is these guys fucked around for 5 years before they gave Spence a fight. Regardless of what you say the excuse was. Elbow injury, waiting for Thurman, fighting each other. Through all of that time, one of them could have fought Spence. It wasn't a reason every fucking time for the whole 5 years. That's bullshit.
Okay. Like I said, part of that was down to Keith Thurman being injured, and he was the unified title holder. That was also part of this story. But we can move on to the other point that I was going to make about how you illustrated the fact that Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury are fighting, and they're supposed to be on these opposite sides of the streets. Well, when the actual deal was signed, and when they first off, those guys already fought, and they weren't on any different side of the street. And then they were going to have a rematch, and they weren't on any different side of the streets. As a matter of fact, the only reason why the rematch hasn't happened to date is because he went to this other side of the street, and it got prolonged.
Okay, I heard you smoke, but hold on. He said you fans sound crazy. There's something Bud saying he can go to Bob, so stop it. Bud and HOS feelings. What the hell is he saying? Dude, write in English, because I can't even break down all your soliloquies and fucking Truth Bomb Jake in the building. What's up, Jake? What the hell are you writing now, Jake? All right, smoke. Be serious, dog. Really. Be serious. Like, why? As much as you know about boxing, and I've talked to you about boxing before, why do you push these narratives, bro?
You want me?
Like, why do you assist in pushing these narratives? You are, dog.
I'm not pushing a narrative. You are pushing it. You want me to tell you what I think is happening? I think they're building.
Okay, well, tell us what you think is happening.
Right. They're both sides are pushing the fight. And this is what they want is for fans to get all impassioned and enthralled and pick a side. When really, all this is them trying to gin up interest in this fight. That both sides. Because either guy could send an offer and neither side is doing that. Instead, what they're doing is having Twitter beefs.
I think that's bullshit. Because listen, man, how is Spence trying to push the fight when he keeps saying other names, dog? See, this is what you're glossing over. You're glossing over the fact that Spence keeps saying other names. Crawford is saying Spence, nigga. He is saying Spence and Spence only, smoke. He wants Spence. You got Spence talking about Danny, Manny, whoever the fuck else. If he's saying only Crawford name and Crawford is saying only his name, then all of this bullshit you talking about definitely don't make no sense. But that's not what we have. We have one boxer in Crawford directly going at Spence and Spence going at the whole damn world. That tells you something right there, bro. Right there.
Okay. So there's two things.
Go ahead.
So I've been following this particular thing since before Crawford was even in the welterweight division. Like I said, I was a huge Crawford fan. He's still my number one pound for pound guy. And Bo Mac came on, one of these shows, and they chopped it up about how they're going to, like, what their plan was and who they wanted to fight and how this fight was going to happen. And that, I want to say that was like 2017. After every single fight, Bo Mac comes on the same show and gives out a list of fighters. Spence is never in this list. And when they're done building a fight is when they start sending offers, right? So it's not like we're getting offers that are being turned down or anything like that. What we're getting is social media wars. Because they're trying to gin up interest in this fight, because it's not big enough for them to actually have that cross-network thing like they have for Wilder and Fury. And even how Wilder and Fury got here was because they've already had a fight that was huge. And in the meantime, Wilder has built his profile and now he's working with Fox. That's what's happening. And that's the business side of how instead of having to cross the street, they're having a block party. But right now, Spence-Crawford is not big enough for a block party. It's just not. Spence isn't there yet, and Crawford certainly isn't there yet. So what we have now, in the meantime, while they're trying to build their profile, is these little things that keep coming up in order to drum up interest in the fight. That's what I think is happening. That's what they've been. That's what both sides have been doing since before Crawford was even a welterweight.
Lisa Bell's in the building. What's up, sis? What's up, Unbiased? What's up, bro?
What up? I don't know about none of what Smoke just said. That just sounds like bullshit to me. Because what I do know is when Terrence Crawford was at 140, there's multiple videos that have him saying Keith Thurman is the #1 guy at 147. That's the guy that we want to fight because at that time Keith Thurman was still unified. He was still the unified champion. There are multiple videos, not just one, not two, not three. There are multiple. Okay. And then when he moved up, Keith Thurman got stripped, and we know what happened. So Errol Spence then became that guy. So since Errol Spence became that guy, that's who Bud directly kept going at that. All the attention went on to Spence, So now we have Errol Spence completely putting up roadblock after roadblock. First it was, hey, I'm not worried about Bud. Tell him to go get a belt, and then I'll fight him. He got a belt. Then when he got the belt, he was on the wrong side of the street. Okay. And then the excuses kept going. They even in the face off they had together, he said Al Heyman gave me names and none were Terrence Crawford. I mean, how many excuses are we going to give Errol Spence? If they were building the fight, then Errol Spence would be saying Terrence Crawford's name on multiple occasions. And that's just not happening. He's talking about Manny Pacquiao. He's talking about fighting Danny Garcia. Right. All right. He's talking about even possibly moving up. He's even called out a Canelo Alvarez. He's talking about Canelo. He's not calling out Terrence Crawford and trying to build that fight. And to add insult to injury, the A side usually always sends the contracts. And Errol Spence has never sent a contract to Terrence Crawford ever.
All right. Is it? Do you want me to respond? Because there's a bunch of stuff in there. Firstly, there was Spence that went to that event to talk to Crawford. So in this whole he's not mentioning his name. That whole face-off happened because Spence went there to have this face-off, and there wasn't a Crawford. He didn't say Al gave me a bunch of names. He said he had a discussion with Al Heyman about a bunch of names, and if he wanted to make a fight, call Al, the guy that you said when he was talking to Bob Arum, the guy that you said didn't exist. And then it was not Spence calling out Canelo. It was Oscar De La Hoya trying to make that fight, not Spence. He wasn't talking about move. It wasn't talking about move. He said he wanted to. Again, he said he wanted to become undisputed at welterweight, not move up. And lastly, just as recently as last week, Spence said he wants to fight Crawford in 2020. So I don't know what it is you guys are talking about. How you're saying he doesn't. You're correct. You're correct when you say. Anybody can send an offer. If you send if you can make the fight happen as a B-side, then you can make the fight happen as a B-side. We saw it with Wilder sending $50 million to AJ. So if the offer is good enough, then the offer is good enough. But at this point, the business part of it, I don't think raises to the level of them being able to make that cross network deal. And so. As long as I still think just like they said before. One last point, and then before Crawford was ever even at 147, like I said, Bomac went on interviews, and I've actually sent you those interviews. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, then I guess you never looked at the interviews I sent you. But they said then that the fight was likely to happen in 2020. And we're in 2020, and they're talking about having the fight happen this year. Now, whether you believe it, that's a different thing.
Okay, that's cool. Okay, so
let me just say this. Terrell Knox says smoke dropping knowledge. Yeah, I would see why Terrell Knox is agreeing with you because he's another PBC defender. But then after that, I just want to shout out John Daly for coming. What's up, John? Appreciate you coming through, fam. Go ahead, Bias.
Okay. So in fact, when they did have a face-off, he did say Al Heyman gave me names. He said that verbatim. That's what he said. Al Heyman gave me names. Then he listed off the names. Okay, and not only that, Canelo. He called out Canelo on Instagram Live. He's made other videos saying that he could beat Triple G and Canelo, and he'd even be willing to go and beat them and move up and fight them. He said that. Those are his words. There's interviews of that on YouTube. He was asked about fighting them or potentially fighting them in the future, and he responded. Just like the week ago that you're talking about, when the interviewer brought up Terrence Crawford, because he didn't bring up Terrence Crawford, the interviewer brought up Terrence Crawford, and then he said Terrence Crawford's name. So he had to be coerced to actually saying Terrence Crawford's name. So yeah. Now your whole point of was he calling out Errol Spence when he was at the smaller weight classes? Well, in that interview that you're talking about, one of those members of that group asked Bomac about Spence, and then he then answered the question. So they weren't looking and searching for Errol Spence. Matter of fact, Terrence Crawford, when asked about that, said Errol Spence is not the number one guy. Keith Thurman is the number one guy, and I want the number one guy. That's what he said. Okay, Errol Spence then became the number one guy when we know what happened with Keith Thurman. He got stripped and blah, blah, blah. So that's what happened. Now, again, I don't understand how they're building up the fight when, bro, the only person that really wants to fight is Terrence Crawford.
That's what I'm saying.
The issue is that the last week there was no interview that Spence was responding to. He just said it on Twitter unsolicited. Bomac was on that show to talk about Crawford Spence to build the fight. It wasn't just that he was answering a question. And we can disagree on whatever, but the facts are the facts. He did not say that Al gave me a bunch of names. That's not what the direct quote was. There was your thing is just all over the place with just factual errors. But people can look it up and look up. They can see what happened when Porter went to Crawford. What he said was, "I talked to Al about a bunch of names." He didn't say Al gave me a bunch of names. That's not what the quote is. Like everything that you just said was a quote. Wasn't actually a quote, and
bro, you could try to word it however you want.
I didn't interrupt you at all. Like why you just polluted everybody's brain with a bunch of factual errors.
Because this guy, D,
I didn't
you
say
see what he
anything
does.
about it.
Yeah, he's trying.
Okay, I got you. So now you interrupted. So now I see what you do.
Go ahead.
You interrupt.
Just go ahead. Finish your sentence.
Because you don't want to get what you're saying to be highlighted and have a spotlight on how it's
highlighted. He said he's gonna be quiet. Go ahead. Go ahead, highlight it.
Cool. Like I said, we can disagree on what the facts mean, but we have to agree on what the facts are. And people can go and look for themselves if we can't do it on the panel. That's it.
Okay,
cool.
Hold on real quick, Boss. I'm gonna let you rock. Well, let me say this because I just broke this down to you, Smoke, and this is what when you hear unbiased and I say we see what you're doing, bro, you gotta understand we see what you're doing. Because you just tried this shit with me, dog. You just tried it with me when you mentioned the whole shit about Spence and Crawford. Listen, Smoke, you can utilize facts to push bullshit narratives, bro. Yeah, we can agree on what the facts are, but you can put them in a context to push bullshit narratives. And this is what you attempt to do. But you're not going to get away with that. Not while me and Unbiased is on the scene. At least not while we're on the scene. Go ahead, Unbiased. Go ahead.
Yeah, so, I mean, Smoke wants it to be worded however. Like he said, I talked to Al Heyman about a bunch of names. Pretty much however you want to word it, he talked to Al Heyman about a bunch of names, and he got those names, right? And then to even reiterate what I said to be truth, Terrence Crawford asked him, "Oh, you talked to him, and he didn't mention me." Wait, hold on. So if he said, "Hey," so Al Heyman didn't mention my name, wouldn't that mean Al Heyman gave him names if he didn't mention Terrence Crawford's name? Or did Terrence Crawford just not? Did Errol Spence just not mention Terrence Crawford to Al Heyman? So that's why the name never came up. But when Terrence Crawford asked him, "Oh, so he didn't mention my name?" and Errol Spence said, "No, he didn't mention your name." So wouldn't that mean Al Heyman gave him names? Yeah, that's what it would mean. Yeah, that's exactly what it would mean. So again, you could try to switch words and blah blah blah, but you can't win against me with that dumb shit. You got to come better than that. So, and again, Errol Spence went to that event to support Maurice Hooker, who was a Texan. He didn't go there to go confront Terrence Crawford. As a matter of fact, Terrence Crawford had to tweet him first to meet up. So your whole point, both of your points just got bodied. Now, please come back with whatever bullshit that you're going to try to say. Go ahead.
Okay, like I said, you can characterize it however you want. If you call it bullshit, it's fine. Like I said, to bolster what D said, yeah, as long as we agree on what the facts are, then we can talk about what that is ad nauseum. Let's do that. But if you're listening to that confrontation between Spence and Porter, then you will hear Spence say, "Yeah, I came here to talk to you. I got in my car to talk to you." So yeah, he did talk to him, and them discussing a bunch of names does not equal Al giving him names. That equals they discussed a bunch of names.
Check this out, bro. You see, Smoke. Bro,
he still don't want to admit it. He still don't want to admit it. So when Terrence Crawford asked him, so Al Heyman didn't mention my name. So why would Terrence Crawford ask him if Al Heyman mentioned his name if Al Heyman wasn't giving Errol Spence names?
Because they were discussing names? Because they were discussing names?
Okay. So why would Al Heyman be the one to mention the name if he wasn't getting names from Al Heyman? Your point, it doesn't make sense because Terrence Crawford asked him, "Oh, hey, did he mention me?" And what did Errol Spence say? "Oh no, Al Heyman, he didn't mention you." No,
because he didn't ask if Al mentioned him. That's why. Because he didn't ask if Al mentioned him. I mean, I got it. You want to be in the third grade?
Yes, he did. Bro, he did. Okay, bro, that's exactly what Terrence Crawford said.
I hear you.
Okay, so again,
that's why we don't agree on the same set of facts.
No, this is why you always get caught. This is why.
Pull it up.
Because
pull up the interview.
Terrence Crawford asked him. I don't need to.
Timestamp.
Everybody here.
Because we do not.
Everybody here.
Hold on, Smoke. Hold on, bro. Let's keep it one. Come on.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm just saying. I'm pretty sure everybody here has listened to it, and we know Terrence Crawford asked him, "Hey, Al Heyman didn't mention me." He said that. Did you hear that? Did you hear him say it?
I heard you.
Oh, okay. So
okay.
Hey, chat. So the chat. No. You Smoke. You had enough. All right. Relax. Smoke. Or not you, Smoke. The chat. Did Al Heyman? Did Terrence Crawford ask Errol Spence? Hey, did Al Heyman give me, or did Al Heyman mention my name? Now I'm asking the chat that. Smoke. We already know how you feel about whatever. Alistair, did you hear the confrontation? Did Terrence Crawford ask Errol Spence, did Al Heyman mention my name? Alistair, are you still there?
Confrontation. When was this? Oh, in their the confrontation, like that old confrontation video.
Yeah. Didn't he ask him? Did Al Heyman mention my name? Didn't Terrence Crawford say that to Spence? Okay, Alistair, I don't know what. Alistair, you still there? Or did he drop? Oh, he dropped. Well, anyways, the chat is saying yes. Okay. So, I mean, again, maybe my ears, the whole entire chat.
Right.
Maybe the chat all their ears are wrong too. So I don't know. Or maybe it's just you.
No, or maybe it's just your chat wants to back you up because these are your people. How about that?
It's not even my chat. This is D's chat. What are you talking about?
Okay. So D's chat. Okay, so D's. All right, now you're gonna act like you don't know what I'm talking about.
Come on,
okay,
man.
Cool. Then let's not know what I'm talking about. Let's just move on. Cool. The chat knows what the chat is gonna tell. The chat is gonna tell us what facts are. Cool.
Hey, that's what he said. Why would I make that up? Like Al Heyman, Terrence Crawford literally. Terrence Crawford.
I just think you got it wrong. You can just
look it up. We can
all look it up. The facts are the facts. We don't need to argue
over
what the facts
are. Okay. All right. Whatever you say, buddy. So, anyways, look, I don't think that they're building this fight up. I honestly don't think Spence and his team want the fight. That's just my opinion. From all of the talks, only one side is really pushing for this fight. Like that. I mean, I don't get it.
Sorry, guys, I had to go handle something, but I know everything's good with unbiased and smoking here. Y'all gonna keep it going. But anyway, man.
Yeah.
It's look. this is how I really feel about the whole situation, man. And again, Smoke, we are on the same side, but on opposite sides here, because I will keep reiterating all the way through. I'm a Spence fan, bro. And everybody that knows me that since I've been on YouTube know that. Unbiased, me and Unbiased always kick it. So he knows for sure. I have not changed my stance on that. I have kept the same energy about Spence. I was the first one before, when I was protecting Spence of not being a ducker, that says if he gets to the point where he is now, he's a fucking duck. Did I not say that, Unbiased?
You did.
I keep the same energy about that.
Our first debate was about Errol Spence. So yeah, you definitely kept the energy. Yeah.
Exactly. And Smoke, this is where you and I are different, bro. You go to no ends to keep making reasons or finding excuses to just say, listen, the dude ducked, bro. It's not like Spence is the only boxing champion that have ducked before. He's not, bro. A lot of them have ducked certain fights. Whether it was because it didn't make sense for them, whether it was because they could have gotten more money in another place, it don't matter what the reason was. A lot of them have ducked fights. You and the rest of the Spence fanatics need to come to the reality is this dude ducked the damn fight, bro. You can still root for him. You can still think he's good. Guess what? He still has a chance to win the fight against Bud, but take it. It's the same thing we said with Wilder. And y'all do the same thing with Wilder and Dillian White. All of y'all call Dillian White trash. He ain't fought nobody. He ain't did this. Wilder would drop him. Well, just fight him then. Why is it all this about these PBC fighters where they this great, they can do all that? Tank Davis is another one. He can beat the hell out of Lomo. He struggles with Gamboa, but y'all continue to make excuses for this dude. Well, you got to respect the process. He's got to be moved right. No, just be realistic about it. Just be realistic. Put boxing first, because if you guys keep defending Spence, just like Buzz said in his comment on Twitter, y'all keep defending him, bro. There it is for you right there. It's the second one. Keep defending him. Y'all keep on defending him, because he says when he knocks him out, which I don't believe he knocks him out. That's not going to fucking happen. But anyway, this is what the man is saying, and I have to agree with Bud because I ain't no fucking Bud hater. I like Bud. That's something else I kept the same energy about. I ain't never been no Bud hater. I said, no, Crawford's a beast, bro. I've always said he's a beast. So I don't have nothing against Crawford. I like his heart, the heart he showed in the Jose Benavidez fight, because Jose Benavidez, whether he had a gimp leg or not, he was putting some leather on Crawford, and Crawford turned it up. That's what champions do. Kavaliauskas dropped him. He got up, turned it up. That's what champions do. You have to respect that. And Spence sees that. He saw that. Even Spence himself, when he sees something amazing, he will admit it. Like the Manny Pacquiao and Keith Thurman fight. He was like, man, that was a hard body shot. Keith Thurman tough as a motherfucker. See, he's admitting it. That means he sees what's going on in that ring. So come to the grips of reality, bro. The dude is ducking the fight for whatever reason. I'm tired of arguing about the reasons why. If the motherfucker want to fight, he would take the fight. And Spence was a duck in my book ever since the freaking Fight Hype interview. I always go back to this because I had much faith in him when he was saying this. I'm going to go take Sean Porter's belt. He ain't say nothing about no damn Danny Garcia. He didn't say nothing about none of these other names or anything. He said, I'm going to go over here, handle this business, take his belt. This man's belt right here that I just put on the screen, okay? And once I do that, then we'll go back to the negotiation table, and let's see if we're talking 50-50. Well, he did it. There it is. There it is right there. He got both belts. But did he fucking go back to the negotiation table? At that point, he became a duck. Period.
Hey, D, I don't
want to say he was a
D. I don't mean to cut you. I don't mean to cut you off, D. But the people in the chat are giving Smoke the timestamp of what I said. Truth bomb. It's right there. So Smoke, why don't you just go have a listen to that and then come back and then give me my apology that you never want to do. because when I do prove you wrong, which is like 24/7. So can you just go ahead and go listen to that and then come back. Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks.
All right.
Thanks.
Yeah,
So I have a different suggestion. I have a different suggestion. Why don't you just put the timestamp part of it up so we can all listen to it together? So you stop trying to make me like I'm some crazy man on an island. Just put it since it's there. Put 742 on there. And if it says, let me finish. Let me finish. If it says what you say it says, then I have no problem giving you a apology or your props, which I have no problem giving anybody because I'm fact driven. I'm not about this whole whatever it is you think I'm on, some ego narrative thing, and that's not me. Sorry, ain't me.
Let me give 2 shout outs right quick, and then I got something for that bullshit you just said, Smoke. First off, let me shout out my man Ness Mendoza in the building. What's good with you, Ness? Appreciate you coming through. Then let me shout out my man Mr. Two Hands Up in the building. What's good, Mr. Two Hands? Now let me respond to that bullshit you talk about, Smoke. Yeah, man. And I'm talking about 95% of us in this chat and myself, we don't need to see a goddamn thing because we already seen it and heard it. First off, the screen share.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me finish, bro.
Okay.
The second thing is this screen sharing shit. It messes up StreamYard because they're new things. So my computer is not that great. So sometimes when I screen share, it starts to tear down everything, okay, and make everything go haywire. So I'm not doing that. You click the motherfucking link that they put in there for you so that you can see what we've already acknowledged. Cool. You're the one who has the problem. I got you. Goddamn thing. You need to see it.
Cool. So this is what it is. Hey, once I put on this link, it's probably gonna disengage me from this chat. So I'll just come back. You can carry on. I'm gonna go look at this link. I'm gonna look at this link and go 742, and then I'll be right back. Cool.
Okay, well, you do that. I'll let you right back on. We're gonna be here kicking it. I'm only 51 minutes in. You know, I go 2 or 3 hours. So
cool.
Yeah, go ahead and handle that, my man.
So and then I'm scrolling up, but in the while I look for this, I'd like to just like I said, I've been following this particular fight and the build up for this fight for years now. I'm not just jumping in, and so maybe that's my perspective is different from yours, and what I think is happening that might be different from yours. I think both sides are building the fight, and when it comes to this whole ducking thing, I just have one point before I go, and I'd love to hear you flame me on this whole thing. When it came down to the controversy between Crawford and Porter fight, and people were saying that Crawford was ducking Porter, your rules, your standards for using the word duck was that there was no offer being made, so there could be no duck. But it seems like now that is different for when it comes to Crawford and Spence. Now Spence is ducking even though there's no offer.
Well, that's it. He's gonna counter that too easy. Go ahead.
I just like to hear what it is, and I'm gonna do it.
What you say, Smoke? What was that last part?
No, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Let me do it. Let me go look at this whole thing. I'm biased to tell you.
Yeah,
or maybe unbiased won't tell you. Maybe unbiased won't.
I ain't even gonna. I'm gonna wait till you get back to counter that dumb shit you just said, bro. Because that shit was just. Mr. Two Hands Up, fat, what's up with you, my man? Go ahead and speak on the travesty you just heard here, because I know you got some things to say.
Yeah, nah, I'm kind of like I really only caught like that first little 1 minute of it, so I really don't even know what he's talking about for real. I was trying to figure it out, honestly.
Hold up.
He can't figure out what he's talking about, so it's gonna be hard for us to. Go ahead, Smoke. All right, well, anyway, let me go ahead then. Listen, man, listen. I said I was going to wait. Oh, okay, he left. I thought he was still in. But, I'm still not going to wait. Smoke be on so much bullshit, dog. You know, how do you pick out? Okay, so he was referring to a single standard that Unbiased used to debunk some of the foolishness he was saying, okay? But that's not the only thing we said about why Spence was ducking Crawford. See, this is what he does, bro. He tries to go to one thing, like one particular thing, and then base it all on that. But it don't even work like that, bro. We gave you one reason coupled with a bunch of other reasons why the man dunked. It wasn't just no one fact. And then he's acting as if he debunked or disproved that, and he really didn't anyway.
Yeah, he likes to just twist words. That's pretty much it. He twists words.
Man, it's audio visual representation of that man ducking motherfucking Crawford. Like Crawford pulled up on him with Bob Arum, they whole team to try to make that fight. Asked that man the whole rundown of everybody who he got in his plans. It was Mikey Garcia, Keith Thurman, this person and that person. You know what I'm saying? He said, so Al didn't mention me. He was like, nah, he didn't mention you. So Terrence went as far as saying, I'll call him myself. It's a known fact and it's public record that Bob Arum has been trying to make the damn fight since last year. They're trying to reach out to Al, go back and forth. Al don't want to answer the phone. Now Bob Arum saying they could make the phone within an hour, all depending on how well Spence is. But I don't even know if I believe that shit. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't gonna keep doing the hook going in circles about Errol Spence, man. It's a known fact he ducking and all the other motherfuckers ducking, man. It is what it is.
Yeah, man. I have let me tell y'all something, bro. I got so many ideas. I got about different scenarios I can put out about the PBC fighters, the way they're moving, and I'm gonna start dropping some of these videos, bro. They just kind of I don't mind shining a light that doesn't seem so positive on the fighters that I like. Because if they're moving in a certain way, then the shit needs to be talked about. And see, that's the main problem with guys like Smoke. My man Terrell Knox, you know I always come at you because you be on that crazy shit.
Yeah, he be on that bullshit.
That's the problem with the guys like that. They don't want to accept the truth, bro. It's just the truth. You know, again, none of these fighters are perfect. Unbiased been a big Crawford fan the whole time. But when it was time for Bud to step up and he needs to make certain fights, Unbiased said this shit, bro. And he had no problem saying this shit. It doesn't matter if you're a fan of a guy. Be a fan of the sport first. This thing, you can easily do the things that we do. It's not turning tails. It's not fucking turncoat, playing the other side. It's not none of that, bro. It's not being a traitor, because it's just being truthful about the sport of boxing. What is so hard about that? What the fuck is so hard about that?
It's sad that you even gotta say that in today's age, and you know what I'm saying, pugilism, that you even gotta, you know what I'm saying, that you even gotta say some shit like that, because fucking opinion, you should be able to have an opinion on whatever, as long as it's factual. You know what I mean? Who gives a fuck? All these emotions need to just go out the window, man. It is what it is. If this nigga ducking over here or he ain't performing, man, pull a nigga up on it. Man, I'm not protecting no fighter. There's a lot of fighters I got love for. And I fuck with some PBC niggas too. But at the same time, bro, I'm not going to cape for none of them niggas, man. So if they not doing right, I'm going to talk about the shit. And until they do right, I'm going to keep bombing on them niggas.
Yep, me too. Big Ox Steel, what's up, Ox? Come on up here, bro. I'll put that link in the chat for you, Ox. I want you to come up here, Ox. But yeah, man, facts, Mr. Two Hands, facts. So, all right, he's back. He's back. Smoke is back in the building. What'd you find out, Smoke? Give us a report. This is D. Jefferson from News.
No. So, right. So I'm reporting live from the link. And the link he actually fuck, I completely forgot what the dude just said. But anyway, he was asked. Terrence Crawford asked Spence, "What did Al say?" Or did Al mention my name? And Spence said no.
Okay, so isn't that what I said, Smoke?
Yes,
Hello?
That's what you said. You said what you said was
So now, where's my apology? Come on, let's hear it.
Okay.
Let's hear it, Smoke.
What am I apologizing for?
because you accused me of messing up facts or trying to spew and switch facts. So can you please let's hear it?
Yeah,
Come on,
Okay.
come on.
All right. So what I said was we don't agree on the facts. I
Oh
did not
my
say
He
that you
taking
God!
too
changed the
long.
facts. I
He's
did
Here
not
we
say
taking
go.
that
way
you
too
changed the
long.
facts.
There we
Well,
go. So now,
okay,
he didn't
great.
say that. So okay,
There
so
you
now he
go.
didn't say that.
I,
All
I
right.
said we don't have to argue over the facts. That's what we're doing. I didn't say that you were changing the facts. I did not say that. So if that's what you want an apology for, that's not what happened.
Hey man, Smoke, you a trip, dog. Hey, look. Shout out to Toby Bartlett in the building. What's good with you, Toby?
Yeah, salute Toby Bartlett, Gun Rights Mafia, salute. LeBron, salute. Tim W, salute. Everybody in the building, salute.
Yeah. Smoke, man, you a funny guy. Listen, real quick, Unbiased did say that, and you were supposed to be going to check out that exact fact, bro. So when you came back with that, you just supposed to apologize, bro. That's all.
Apologize for what?
For accusing this man of doctoring up shit, and he didn't doctor nothing up. I told you.
I didn't
all of
say
us
he doctored it up. I said
all
that
right,
we are
man.
disagreeing over it. We
Well,
disagreed over the facts, and we don't need
Yeah,
to
because
argue over what the facts are.
you said that Crawford never said that, and I said that's definitely what he said. So again, since you just listened to the audio and that is what Crawford said, just admit you were wrong.
I
That's
was
it.
wrong. I have no problem
all
admitting
right.
There
I was
you
wrong.
go. See, hey, there you
There we
That's
go,
go.
different
Smoke.
than
Good job.
apologizing, right?
Good job,
Somebody
Smoke.
break
Good
out the
job, Smoke.
confetti and the fucking party horns.
Yeah, yo, like I said, man, as long as it's facts, it's facts. I have no problem admitting I'm wrong when I'm wrong. We can
You can't argue with
let's
that.
agree on the facts. Yeah, exactly. I don't want to sit here and argue about facts. Let's just see what the facts are.
Okay, well, with that being
Hold
the
on.
fact,
Hold on. What you mean you don't want to argue about facts? If you're not being factual, that's the problem. That's what you debate. The niggas is not factual. You can't disregard when you wrong and say you don't want to argue about the facts and move the goalposts. What type of sucker shit is that?
Because the facts are the facts. There's nothing to argue about it. Either the sun, even if it's
Man,
90 degrees outside or it's not 90 degrees outside. There's no need to argue
I
about
don't
that.
care. I don't care
There's no
what
need
weather
to
it
argue
is.
about
I
that.
don't care what weather it is. But if you go run back and look at a video and be all the way wrong about it, you know what I'm saying? At least be man enough to say you wrong about the shit. Don't try to
I
move
already
the
did.
goalposts and say we're not
He
gonna
did
argue
it.
about the
I
facts.
hold
already
on,
He
he
did
did.
it.
did, Mr.
How many
Two-Hand.
times do
He
you want me to
just
say I was
admitted it.
wrong?
He did. But let me say
All right, then I apologize. I apologize.
no.
I apologize. I'm man enough to say that.
See how easy that was, Smoke? See, that's how real men do it. My nigga, Mr. Two-Head, you see how easy that was, Smoke? It wasn't all of this.
Yeah,
No.
because
The man just
it's
quickly
easy
said,
to
I
see that I need to
apologize. I
apologize.
was wrong. But he quickly said that, really quickly. I apologize. I was wrong. With you, nigga, it's like us pulling teeth in this motherfucker, dog.
No,
It's like
it
us
wasn't.
pulling
Listen.
teeth with no fucking Novocaine trying to get you to say a phrase like that.
Okay. No, it didn't. No, it wasn't. As soon as all he said is, now that you saw that he was wrong, can you say you're wrong? I said, yeah, I was wrong. What the first thing he said was apologize to him for insulting him. That's a completely different situation than what just happened.
Check this out, though. Check this out.
Man,
I want to say this.
you guys are crazy with it. You guys are
I want to
crazy
say
with
this. This is the day that we can all remember. Somebody timestamp this motherfucker right now. Get this Smoke finally admitted without any revocation that he was fucking wrong. It must be goddamn 62 degrees in hell today. Because that shit don't never happen.
No, man. Listen, like I said, for me, there's absolutely no reason for us to argue over what a fact is. We can just look that shit up.
Yeah, well, Smoke, this is what you do. Get into the habit of when you come over here, you just get in the habit of going to go look it up. Because we always spit the facts. Nigga, you the one who comes here trying to argue.
Get out of here. The only reason this thing happened is because I said, hey, find the link and put a timestamp on it, and somebody in chat went and did it.
Let me give a couple shots out. Hold on, guys. Let me give a couple shots out.
If he gotta dig in, he gotta go in the nigga mention something. You gotta get that nigga a time out or something. Because when fuck niggas do that in their life?
Listen, Mr. Two Hands Up. Listen, when we over on the UGC, we got this dude, Jamal Wright. You be over there on DT3, and Terrell Knox is one for all of us. That's my guy over here like that Smoke. Smoke get up here all the time, bro, because one thing about Smoke, when he get up here, he is the opposition that's going to actually give us a discussion. Some of these guys that come up here, bro, it's like, okay, suit them and boot them. You can get them up here, but they just so fucking out of context. They don't know shit about, but at least Smoke will get up here. The motherfucker got stamina, because no matter how many times he get bodied or willing to admit he get bodied, he will still come back. But he's not a fucking idiot. Like, a lot of these guys out here fucking idiots, bro. You know? And he's not that. So I let Smoke keep coming up here and rocking out, bro. I mean, it's a lot of people up here. A lot of motherfuckers don't like Unbiased. They don't like Unbiased because he be for different reasons, but they still don't like him. When he come up here anytime, my man Mark, Unrivaled. A lot of people don't like him. A lot of people don't like you, Mr. Two Hands.
That's what it is.
But you know,
Niggas
you always
pull up.
Here,
like, tell my man, like I said, the PBC got his brain a little twisted up, but he's still a homie.
Yeah. I fucks with Terrell now. Matter of fact, I'm supposed to be putting his blue suit on. But look, check this out. I wanted to give 2 shout outs right quick to a couple of people that stepped in here. Why? My man Uncle Burnt Apostrophe. What's up? Appreciate you coming through. You still ain't come up here, but I'm gonna shout you out anyway for stepping in the building. And my man Remy 22. I don't know if I hollered at you once, but Remy, appreciate you coming through. So guys, yeah, we need deep into this Bud Crawford Spence shit. But Letitia Crawford, bro, I wanna listen. Me and this young lady, that's Bud's sister, Andrew Tucker World. What's up, brother? Me and that
Andrew
lady,
Tucker, what's good, my G? MBBC the fuck up.
we got into a little back and forth on Twitter a while back, right? But she was respectful and everything, and we came to, like, you know, pretty much an understanding after that. But motherfuckers need to get off her nuts, bro. She ain't got no nuts, but y'all know what I mean, because like this is the first time I really went on Twitter. I don't do a lot of back and forth on Twitter because I'm on YouTube. You can come on my YouTube channel and click the link like everybody up here, and we can do the back and forth that way. I don't like typing. But they like always on this lady. Like, she can't talk about boxing, especially the shit is being her brother. Like, the shit she be saying, bro, she be spitting facts. She be telling the truth, bro. And I don't know why, like, these guys and shit be coming at her like she can't say nothing, or she just biased because, you know, that's her brother. Now, she may be somewhat biased because that's her brother, but just listen to the shit. She go on Twitter right now and look at the comments Letitia Crawford be putting out. I'm like, I just wanted to say for everybody who is on Twitter, man, respect Letitia Crawford, bro. She be saying some real shit. Dead ass. Anybody in the panel could talk about that if y'all on Twitter and y'all be around Letitia Crawford, y'all seeing her comments. I think she be saying some real shit, bro. She be saying some of the shit that we be saying, and like she got about it. Like
she be igniting the flame, man. That's what she did last night. You know what I'm saying? She ignited that flame. Terrence Crawford went completely off on Errol Spence. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. And she be saying some valid shit, though. You know what I mean? You know how it's a lot of people that come up and they just be talking crazy. No, Letitia Crawford be saying some valid shit. Like, much respect to that lady, bro. Straight up. But so I want to get on another situation, and it's still Terrence Crawford, but it's this whole Terrence Crawford and this Tank Davis bullshit, bro. Listen, man, this is clout chasing. This is what I'm saying about it, and I'll let y'all get y'all piece how y'all feel about it. To me, this is clout chasing at its fullest on Tank Davis's part, because I understand that these fighters have back and forths and all of that dumb shit, whatever. But look,
nah, talk your shit. Talk your shit. I've been waiting for a nigga to get on a topic like this.
All right. I'm gonna let you go off. I'm gonna just say the calm piece. I'm gonna let you.
No. Get it off, and I'm gonna follow behind you.
All right.
I'm back and clean up.
So this shit it's just straight clout chasing, because Tank Davis know fucking well that Leonard Ellerbe and Floyd Mayweather are not going to put him in any sort of danger, bro. The only thing that makes sense in this fight is that his little fat ass moves up to 140 because he barely just made 135. Crawford moves down to 140. No fucking way in hell Tank Davis beats Crawford at 140. I think even if Crawford trained himself to 135, he still beats Tank Davis. Because Tank Davis is not on the level of a Terrence Crawford. Therefore, him even doing all of this stuff back and forth, trying to spit flame at Crawford, that's nothing but clout chasing, bro. He know he had a bad fight. He trying to spit dirt on Terrence Crawford's fight with Gamboa 4 years ago. A 4 year ago, Gamboa in that ring probably would have beat Tank Davis. So it's nothing but clout chasing. That's how I look at it. Go ahead, Mr. Two Hand. Fly off on that shit.
Man, like on God, man, like what has Tank not done that ain't been clout chasing involved? Like this man just was sitting there, man. Josh Taylor just won the ring belt, just beat Prograi out his belt. And this nigga got the nerve to say, not even a week later, not even a couple weeks later, I mean within the same evening, within the same morning, this nigga talking about something. Yo, I come up to 140, Josh Taylor, and I'll stop you. Man, cut the shit, bro. Cut the shit. Your ass down there too fat, eating slushies and footlongs and shit like that, looking like a regular ass Baltimore Cabbage Patch Kid and shit like that, running around, got the nerve to act like you want to smoke with them upper divisions, bruh. You wouldn't even fight Tevin Farmer for $7 million, bruh. You talking about you a Glock off safety? My nigga, you a cat gun. Cut the crap, man. You out here talking, man, look, everything them niggas do is a calculated clout chase. Anytime something successful going on around the weight ranges to where them PBC dudes are so delusional that will believe that shit, they gonna say it. So no matter who get a win, whether it's from, I guarantee even at 147, that nigga would say something crazy. 147 down to 130, bro. He gonna say something ridiculous as soon as somebody finds some success getting in that ring and doing it the grimy way. He always sitting on the side.
He did. Remember when Manny Pacquiao beat Broner? What Tank say? He said, "Oh, I'll go to 147 and stop Pacquiao."
That's right.
That's what he said.
That's right.
So it's clout chasing. Go ahead, Tobias. Take off, bro.
Man, I'm honestly, I'm just tired of Tank. Tank always talking shit about everybody's performance. He talks shit about Deontay Wilder, said Deontay Wilder fights like a Tom girl. You know what I'm saying? Whether I like Deontay Wilder or not, you know what I'm saying? He has done more than Gervonta Tank Davis in the sport to me. You know what I'm saying? So he doesn't have a right. He doesn't have a right to even talk about Wilder. He's went back and forth with Bradley, Andre Ward, who else? Manny Pacquiao, like I just
way more accomplished than his stupid little ass. Are you kidding me? Bradley is way more accomplished than Tank. Way more. And then he said, I ain't mean to cut you, I'm gonna let you rock again. But then remember when he said Tank Davis was like, no, I'm not talking about pound for pound. I'm talking about I hit harder than Wilder. Remember he said that dumb shit? That he literally he hit harder than Wilder. Like, come on, bro.
He's just a clout chaser, man. He learned from the best, Floyd. You know what I'm saying? He knows because he knows when the fights that matter that we care about, he interjects himself into that conversation just to get clout. That's what he does. You know what I mean? He does it with everybody. That's why when people started flaming him, including boxers, like Devin Haney was flaming him because he called Devin Haney a bum. He called Shakur, said he'll stop Shakur Stevenson, said that he'll finish his career. So I'm just saying, man, this dude it was $2.
Yeah,
no, $2.
Go ahead.
Yeah, all right. So I'm just saying, man, you know, Tank has talked shit about everybody in their career and just hated for you know the most. So him getting flamed, it's warranted. And I don't know why people are trying to protect him. Like he talks shit about everybody. Yeah. So fuck Tank, in my opinion.
Alistair, you want to jump in on this? You've been quiet for a while. I know you working or something, but Smoke, what you got to say about that Tank? I says that was just my perspective on the cloud chasing. That don't mean it's a fact or not. What's your perspective on that, Smoke?
Oh yeah, man. Everything that you guys said, I've already said, and yeah, I mean that's how he rolls. I guess the only thing I'll add is it doesn't really matter what Tank says because he can't make fights at all. If he can want to fight anybody he wants to, It doesn't mean that he's gonna get the fight because his handlers probably won't make that fight.
Exactly. Well, you right about that, Smoke. That's the fact, bro. Like Ella being, and we were and shout out to Unbiased because he was kind of saying this the other day. Like, you can't even really put a lot of this on Floyd too much no more. It's Ellaby because Floyd ain't even really like he's not involved with Tank like he used to be. You know what I mean? I think even Floyd to a certain extent, like people gotta understand this. Floyd Mayweather was great himself. We could sit here and we could, bash down what Floyd did, like we bash down, like people bash down what Canelo did as far as weight, uh, uh, catch weights and weight and clauses and all of that bullshit. Okay, we could say that. Floyd Mayweather was still great. And Floyd Mayweather was very smart in the ring. And when it comes to being business savvy, we know what he was as far as a fighter. So we know what Floyd Mayweather's greatness is. He can see that this kid just don't got it, bro. He got the potential, but he don't got the drive. Floyd pulling away from that shit. Yeah, he a part of TMT, but Tank the only thing making him money right now. So he ain't gonna slam the kid and just get rid of him altogether. He gonna keep riding that wave as long as he can. And he letting Ellaby deal with that bullshit. Cause he know Tank don't got the drive he got. He don't got the heart he got. He ain't beating the fucking people that Floyd beat. Cause Floyd was fighting, remember Pretty Boy Floyd before the hands got brilled. That was Tank Davis's age. Floyd was a fucking monster back then. He would have beat the shit out of Tank. For sure.
Yeah, that would have been an easy fight for Pretty Boy.
Easy work. Yeah. Pretty Boy would have beat the shit out of Tank. So with that being said, bro, like he can see this kid like, man, he has the potential, but he just don't have the dedication and desire. And now it's just Ellaby running around. How the fuck can Ellaby, after that damn Gamboa fight, come out and say the shit that he said? I was like, is this dude on fucking LSD or what, bro?
Bruh, because it's exactly what I was saying on my live stream yesterday, man. It's perception and reality, and that shit is swayed 50-50 by the hardcore fans, and then you got the casuals over at the PBC that's lighting up a bunch of bums, and people see a flashy knockout, and they think they real hitters over there because they believe what they say out their mouth. So it all boils down to this. Floyd only deal with Tank business-wise when the momentum makes sense. Like he was fighting Gamboa. So after he did whatever he did to Gamboa or whatever, he gonna come out with that bullshit and try to say Tank #1 pound for pound or whatever, because they can sway the casual media. That's why they throw it up there in the bright lights talking about this is a world title fight. Talking about Badu Jack is a world title fight. Like, bruh, they do anything they can to sway casual media and run with it. Because you want to know why? They going to run their mouth and talk their shit too. And they going to make that shit believable to a bunch of other casual people. Us hardcore dudes, we know what it is. Because when it come down to it, like you were saying, Floyd built his legacy off him and fighting dogs. So when it come down to it, man, Floyd don't believe nothing Tank got going on, man. Like, man, dog, he fat, overweight, don't take the game serious. One thing we can say is Floyd always stayed in top shape. But when the business model makes sense and there's a little momentum there, like 14,152 people filling out the stands and stuff like that, yeah, he gonna speak for Tank. But when Tank is just is dead and ain't got nothing going on, man, Floyd ain't speaking for that boy.
No, he not. He not. And I'm just like with Tank Davis, man. See, let me tell you, like a lot of people like this fucking he knows his sports. They think that I'm a hater of Tank Davis. I am super disappointed in Tank Davis. I go so hard at the Charlos and Tank Davis. The reason I go so hard at these guys because I was fans of them. You know what I mean? And like when you're a fan of somebody and you support somebody, and then you find out that, like, I'm not like these other fans. Y'all been bullshitting me, man. You know what I mean? So it's just like if you're helping somebody out in the street, it ain't about sports. You're just helping them out, helping them get on their feet. And the whole time they never really needed you. They had like $30,000 in the cut. It feel like you've been bullshitted. You've been bamboozled. And that's why I go so hard at Tank and the Charlos. Because I used to be fans of theirs, bro. Unbiased will back me up on this, too. I used to be fans of all three of them, bro.
And man, I used to be a fan, too, bro.
Okay, so I still am a fan, but maybe we have different kinds of fandom. But I will say that I think it's a little convenient to just absolve Floyd at this point, because I think a lot of the blame for where Tank is right now is on Floyd. The entire clout chasing mentality he has, I think he picked up from Floyd. I think Floyd spoils him early. I think he moves the way that Floyd moved at the end of his career, but he didn't put in the work beforehand. It's just a bunch of stuff that I think that for me, I can see it being Floyd's fault. At this point, though, moving forward, there's only so much blame you can put on Floyd, but there is some certain things about the way the Tank moves definitely is reminiscent of Floyd.
Because if Tank wants those fights,
man,
Tank could
at
get
the end
those
of the
fights.
day, you make the decisions, man. They work for you. Like, look, anytime Floyd it was in a bad business situation or any other fighter, you could think back to Roy Jones or what it was dealing with his father, anybody. Bro, you got to stand on your square and make decisions for yourself. Floyd Mayweather didn't like what's going on. He couldn't get that damn De La Hoya fight quick enough. What did he do? He bought out. He bought out, made the joint himself, and cashed out. And then now we on this whole Money Mayweather moniker. I'm not absolving just one person. It's not a singular issue. It's a business practice issue. This is their business practice over at the PBC. They like sitting up there faking like they going to fight tough fights, and they won't do it. They'll keep fighting a couple of guys that make sense, that's not going to mess up whatever they got for their little image and stuff, because with them, it's more about image. It's more about the perception that they will fight. And as long as, like I said, as long as people going to believe it, they're going to rock for it. So I can't put it on Floyd, because if you really wanted to take your career in your own hands, you're going to do it. Just like every other boxer since the beginning of time. Shit, you'll make enough noise if you got to get your point across. If you didn't like what was going on.
This is what I'll say about Tank. I think Tank isn't, like, I'm not trying to diss him or nothing, but I don't think Tank is intelligent to know enough. Like, all right, well, maybe I should do this, I should do that. And I think he's not intelligent to that point where he can't even make his own decisions. And so he puts faith into Floyd, because, you got Floyd, who's almost a billionaire, that's telling you, oh, you should do this, you should do that. So he's probably looking at that and just looking at the materials around Floyd and saying, all right, well, I want to be like that. So that's why he's just listening. And you got Ellerby and his heir telling him how to move too. So I mean, I give Tank some of that blame, but I think its majority of it is Ellerby and some of it Floyd. You know what I'm saying? Floyd has impacted this generation coming up very heavy, and a lot of it for the wrong reasons, in my opinion. The whole
I agree.
beat Hispanics to gain their fans and become a pay-per-view star. That whole model just seems to be what PBC is doing. You know what I'm saying? To me.
Yeah. That's why I keep saying, man, it's not a singular issue, man. It's the business model, man. That has been the business model for PBC fighters presently at this time, that we are starting to continuously see that it is a trend that they are comfortable with, because in some way, shape, or form, it seems like that they're comfortable getting fat off of it. Because like you said, if they grab you when you're young and you don't have no worldly business knowledge, you have no business savvy whatsoever, it's very easy for you to get caught up and say, see, $750,000 and go over the moon about that shit and not really care about 20 million if you never even had 750 before. So if you get a reoccurring 750 to a couple $1 million, of course you're going to be happy with it. But that's just my take on it, man. Like it just seems like that's the business model to me.
Yeah. I mean, from what I heard you say about the PBC, I don't see that being a PBC specific issue. I see it that being just the business of boxing, like, beating up, like the ethnic wars, all that shit. That's just old school promoting.
Yeah. And one thing about that, it is some merit to that, because you look at the Golden Boy side, and that's what Oscar does. You know what I mean? Canelo, he decided not to even fight another Mexican. You know what I mean? And then, so I mean, just like British fighters get their fame off of fighting Americans and so forth and so on. Cuban fighters and Puerto Rican fighters, matchups are always used. So it happens, man. Like demographics of where you at, and certain, camaraderie for countrymen and, Hispanics and blacks, and this shit is a part of it. I don't really get into a lot of those talk. Mr. 1-2 what's up, bro? Appreciate you coming.
What's good, 1-2?
I don't really get up. Queen Lisa, I think I hollered at you, but anyway, what's up, Lisa Bell? But like I stay away from the politics. Sometimes I get into it with the numbers and shit like that, but the ethnic differences and discrimination in sports in general, I really don't get into those topics a lot
All
because
right, but D, there's no
it's there.
reason to.
Yeah, it ain't. It's
There's no
there.
reason to. You want to know why? I'm just going off what you're saying. You want to know why? Because, bruh, at the end of the day, you got to sell a fight. Closed mouths don't get fed. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? These dudes got to do these press conferences. Dog, a hero got to go against a villain. Superman had to have somebody to fight, so he had to give him Lex Luthor. You know what I'm saying? You had to give him Doomsday. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with Batman. You got to have a Joker and a Penguin out there. So it's got to be something that sells it, man. Or otherwise, we not going to pay attention or we not going to be there. But go back to what you were saying, though.
Yeah, no, I mean that's just it in a nutshell. Who got all that goddamn ruckus in the background? But that's that's just it in a nutshell, man. I don't like. I like to. I like the excitement. That's why I say fuck what everybody talk about. Smoke. You know, only way Smoke get kicked off this motherfucker is when I delete him off this business. Sometimes I got put him backstage, but most of the time I like when Smoke come out here because I like the excitement in the sports talk and the debate, right? I don't find any excitement at all in racial differences or talking about it. Like I find no excitement at all. It's not even an interesting conversation.
No, not at all.
The truth of the matter is, here's the truth. And it doesn't fucking matter what anybody say. This is a fact. When the world gives no attention to it, it doesn't exist. But as long as we keep giving attention to it, then the fucking issue is going to be there. And that's a fact. So I'm going to start with me. And I give very little attention to it. I mean, it's hard to give none to it, but I always bounce around it. But I don't want you guys to think about it as just some, oh, he ain't. No, I don't want to talk about it. So I answer your question for you. You know, he act like he don't want to talk about that shit, though. Well, you're right. I don't want to talk about it. And I'm not going to talk about it because it's not important to me. And it's not what I love to do. I love to talk about sports. And that shit don't have shit to do with sports to me. It has to do with business and people and their differences, but it don't have to do with the sport.
Yeah, hey man, that was well said. I gotta get behind that 100%. I'm with that.
Appreciate it, bro. So let's move on, bro. To another saucy topic here, which I'm gonna spend about 30 minutes or so on this one. Then I gotta make it run and do something. But Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, and Smoke. I'm gonna let you start this one off. I'm gonna let you start this one off, and I'll let Mr. Two Hands come behind you, and Alistair if he ever comes back, and then I end it off. But Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, Smoke. What you got? What you got?
What I got in terms of who's
gonna
win
this
or what?
fight? How? Break it down. What you
Who's gonna win a fight? Huh?
Mental affairs and all of the bullshit. You know, talk about it.
Wow. It's closing in on us. I still need to see Tyson Fury step between the ropes before I believe it. He's one of the rematch Derek Chisora, but we'll see about the real champ. But let's say the fight does happen. I see two things. I see Wilder winning one of two ways: either by smooth knocking the dude out, or by knocking him down enough times to where he wins on points.
Okay.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't see Fury. I guess that's it. That's it for me right now.
I got you.
All right, man. All right. So following up, all I got to say is, man, the rain is over. The rain is soon over. The rain is soon over. I don't know what your boy over there talking about. Tyson Fury not getting in between the ropes. He must be smoking some crack mixed with pixie dust right now. Because I'm telling you, Tyson Fury jumped off the couch after fighting 2 cans and dealing with weight issues and mental health problems and went in there and beat your champ 9 rounds to 3. So what I see happen is a fresh Tyson Fury in his prime coming out of a crunk gym with Sugar Hill Stewart, following off following off the tutelage of his great uncle who just passed away. God rest his soul. Man, Tyson Fury gonna get in there. He gonna show out. It's gonna be a lot of 1-1-2s, a lot of 1-2-1s, a lot of ripping shots to his body downstairs, and watch homie ass fall out right from his legs. I'm telling you. He going down in the 10th to 11th round, and if he ain't going down there, it's already going to be a unanimous decision. Fury going to take that WBC back to the UK. Facts, though.
Whoa, and that comes from my man, Mr. Two Hands Up. All right, Alistair, you in there? I know you listening. If not, I'm getting ready to close it out with this one. All right, boom. So we got no Alistair. But check this out, man. Tyson Fury, you always should favor the boxer in the rematch. Traditionally, historically, if you even add them up, the boxer wins the rematch. Well, clearly Tyson Fury is the boxer. And I like the breakdown, Smoke, because that is I said the only way that Wilder would beat Tyson Fury is to knock him out. But then Smoke brought up another valid point. If he knocks him down enough times to gain the point advantage. Okay, so I respect your breakdown, and I respectfully disagree. First and foremost, my man Fury ain't gonna let that bumbling fool catch him like he did that first fight to knock him down. See, he got undisciplined. He got cocky, and he became a little unfocused in that first fight. And Fury knows he did. You know what I mean? And so this time is going to be focused from round 1 to 12. Wilder can outbox Fury. So we can forget about majority or split decision. If it goes 12, it's definitely a unanimous decision by Tyson Fury. But here is the difference. And shout out to my man, Mr. Two Hands Up. Just gave it to y'all. That's the difference, man. He with the Stewart gang. With the Stewart gang. Because even Smoke made a good point. Emmanuel Stewart, a lot of times, he was a popular guy, very famous, in high demand. So, Stewart and gang, it was the gang a lot of times spending a lot of time with these fighters. Now, of course, they were going off the tutelage and instruction of Emmanuel Stewart, but it was still them that was in the gym. So this team, that camp is fully prepared. That's the camp of the GOAT, Emmanuel Stewart. Do you know what they're going to transform Tyson? This was the Tyson Fury that, like Mr. Two Hands said, came off the couch, beat 2 tomato cans, and took Wilder to 12. Now, Ben Davison did a great job to get Fury that far. But he's gotten all he could get from Ben Davis. There is no more. They've plateaued. They've climaxed. It's all over. Now he's moved on to the Stewart camp. I say again, the Stewart camp. Listen, guys, Tyson Fury is going to relinquish Deontay Wilder of that green belt come February. And that is how it's going down.
That's a fact. That's a fact, because this is another thing I think people don't take notice to too. Not only did Tyson Fury have to face the mental health thing, the drug issues, and coming off the couch, his whole camp, he wasn't focusing on strength and conditioning. He was only focused on getting in shape. He couldn't focus on his power like that or nothing like that. So now he get to focus on all of that, and you put him in a spot to where his skill set for being a guy that's 6'9", damn near 6'10", and float around the ring, you know what I'm saying, like floats the way he does, bro, you putting him in the right spots, bro. And he get to focus on his power now. He gets to focus on all of those other things he didn't get to focus on. It's just going to be a completely different match. And I'm just telling you, we're just going to wait and see. It's only 7 weeks out.
Yeah.
So, just to follow up, the Crunk Gym is the right-hand whisperer. They're not really a defense kind of thing. And unless the Crunk Gym got some way to increase Tyson Fury's power, that's not really going to be helpful just stylistically. And then he hasn't been with him that long to have a significant impact. He messed with Emmanuel Stewart years ago, but it's not like it's been a continually work with him for the last decade. He worked with him a decade ago, and now he's working with him for a few weeks before a fight. I don't think that even if he was with him, what he needs to improve on, I don't know that the Crunk can help him. I think
so
Crunk
as a kid,
I think Crunk is better than Ben Davison, but that's about it.
Okay,
right.
so as a child, what do? You take the information you retain when you learn, and then you use it with you when you get older, right? So if he was 21 and he went there to learn something, and he's going back into the system, you don't think he's going to groom those same things that he was taught over there before? It's not like you go and you learn something in boxing and it just leaves you. You go to one camp, you learn one thing. You go to another camp, you learn another thing. Fury's defense is Fury's defense. He don't need Crunk Jim to show him that. He's going in there for the one thing you just said, the right hand whisperer. He's going to focus on that pop. Like I said, that 1-2-1, that 1-1-2 is going to be all up in that man's grill. Bruh, it's easy. He made the best decision he possibly could for his career. The fact that he's known in that gym. His cousin Andy Lee is in that gym. So he's going to translate all of that to what he has now. It's not like he's going into a gym with a brand new coach and he has to learn something new. Nah, he's just grooming old shit, making it great again.
Yeah, but that one whisperer that they got, that right hand, it gets their guys knocked out an awful lot.
Yeah, okay. Well, Vanity just stepped in the building. Vanity MBBC Nation, what's up? That's what's up.
Salute my guy.
Vanity said, I got
Real
Fury by decision. Smart man, Vanity, smart man. Willie Boy says, hey, Smoke, how many KOs does Fury have?
Let's see, knockouts. He's knocked out Cunningham. He knocked out Chisora. He knocked out Schwartz. And that's all I can remember off the top of my head.
That's because you don't like Tyson Fury.
Oh, wait a minute. No, Stephen Safari knocked him out too. Stopped him in 4. Yeah, I can't. Chisora's like the last guy I remember. Stopped him in 10.
You think what round you think that Wilder would stop Chisora? Fury, Smoke, that was pretty good, but what'd you give us, about 5 or 6 guys? Maybe about 6 guys.
Yeah, I mean, I went back like 6 years. I mean, I don't have an encyclopedic knowledge of my man's knockouts.
Well, yeah, and you're not a fan of him. I'm a fan of him, so I tell you, he got 20 stoppages. So you missed about 14.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a Wilder fan, but if you ask me who the hell he knocked out, like,
yeah, but if I ask you how many fucking knockouts he got, If I ask you how many,
but that's part of it.
Spence got, Okay, that's a part of being a fan. So.
No, I don't know how many knockouts Spence has. Actually, I don't.
Okay, well, whatever, bro.
That's not how it is.
It's a part of being a fan, and I'm a fan.
I don't know how many knockouts. I don't know how many
20
knockouts Crawford has.
That's 20 knockouts. Yeah. 20, which means he can knock Wilder out.
Oh, man, Wilder's so small and slim too. Fury get inside and lean that weight on Wilder and fatigue him. He's knocking him smooth the fuck out. Hey, look, Fury do Wilder like Steve Cunningham.
Is that the new?
No.
Is that the new prediction that he's getting knocked out?
No. Fuck that shit, bro. I was playing about that. Look, I picked Fury by decision, but what Mr. Two Hands was saying, that point taken, and that is a valid point. He can fatigue him and get a stoppage that way. It doesn't have to be like a KO where Wilder doesn't make the count, but the rest stepping in there. Oh, that can happen. You guys don't think that can't happen?
Hey, cause D, he could play that shit. He could play that smart inside game, just like when he got his head cut, or you could use Steve Cunningham, for example. Play that smart inside game, go inside him. You know what I mean? Restrict Wilder's power, beat him up on the inside, lean all on him on the ropes and shit like that. Carry the fight in later rounds like he want to, and knock him out the same way and just gas him. That's the one thing that Fury has that other people in the heavyweight division don't, because he's such a statue, man. He can use all of that he knows how to use that 6'9", 6'10" to his advantage, bro. And that shit right there alone is a mountain of his own to move.
Now Fury got so many weapons for Wilder, bro. Everybody talk about Terrence Crawford. Fury switch hits, and he does it proficiently too. Nobody, I don't think is anybody that I can noticeably recognize that's better than Crawford at switch hitting. but Tyson Fury is very efficient at switch hitting. Very efficient. And he's shown it already, but no one pays attention to Fury. All they pay attention to is this herky-jerky movement. But they don't even look at his feet, bro. He's a very efficient switch hitter. He's going to confuse the fuck out of Wilder, bro. This is what I don't understand. He's going to confuse him. Go ahead.
It's a completely different ball game, man.
Well, they already faced each other. He wasn't completely confused. He definitely was telegraphing his punches and not composed. But you know, I think we also saw two different fights. Like if you only give Wilder if you only gave Wilder 3 rounds, like for me, what I saw.
How many rounds you give him? That's the question.
I gave Tyson Fury 5 rounds. I thought 5 rounds could go either way, and 2 rounds were definitely Wilder's. So all those swing rounds, like 1 through 5, when nothing was fucking happening, that means you have to give all those rounds to Fury, even though nothing was happening. And that's not how I view fights. I'm not trying to, but if that's how you view it, fine. I don't think it's going to be confusing. I don't think it's going to be this blowout that you guys are talking about, because that's not what the first fight was.
The first fight, what happened against Luis Ortiz? What did Luis Ortiz do the whole time? Blow him out from round 1 to round 7. That man threw 13 punches the whole fight. Man, I don't know what fight you was watching, bro. But when Tyson Fury was fighting Wilder, how could you possibly give him 5 rounds? How could you possibly give Wilder 5 rounds? There's no way in 7 hells that man got 5 rounds. That man was getting jabbed all night. Wilder wasn't landing nothing. The only rounds I could give Wilder is the 10-8 rounds, and I could probably give him, like, I think it was like the 5th or the 6th round to be nice. That's being nice.
I'm not saying give Wilder 5. Listen.
No, he said swing. He didn't say give him the Wilder. He said swing, but 5 rounds.
5 swing rounds. Yes, it's 5 swing rounds.
Swing rounds. He did say that.
There were some swing rounds. Wilder doing a bunch of windmill swinging and missing.
and Fury doing a bunch of nonsense, sticking his tongue out and shaking his head around.
All right. So my turn. Since you wanna.
So is Spence and taunting not been a part of boxing since the beginning of time?
Right.
So is Spence and taunting not been a part of boxing since the beginning of time?
I know it's not. I know you can't.
If you embarrassing a dude, why not stick your tongue out? If you embarrassing a dude, if you embarrassing a nigga, making them look like your stepson the whole night, why not? Why not stick your tongue out? You got enough time to do it. He can't hit you with nothing. You didn't have to feel threatened. You didn't have to. You ain't had to feel threatened. All that man was doing was windmilling, hitting rafters all night. You can taunt. You can play the Roy Jones game if you got the defensive pedigree to do it. See, the thing you missing, and the thing that I seem to understand is when that one thing fails for Deontay Wilder, what other plan can he go to? Because all you can allude to is the right hand. Fury has so many different techniques and so many different rounds. He's been in so many different deep rounds. He can show you different styles. All you can depend on is a right hand all night and hope and pray to God that it lands. Just like the first fight. Man, you can talk all of that stuff now because they gave him a draw, but you know when you was watching that fight, you was sitting in there silent. You was sitting in there cringing. Your gut hurt a little bit because you know your man was getting his ass whooped. But I mean, we could play it differently if we want. I'm not here to change your mind, but you and I know what it is, and all of y'all delusional motherfuckers know what it is too.
So, all night, first off, the first 5 rounds did nothing happen. So I'm not sure what you're talking about all night. I just wanted to see the Wilder that I'm used to seeing in that fight, so I could see the best fight possible. Then that's
so you basically saying.
Hold on, Mr. Two Hands. Hold on. Let me get in here. Because you said too much nonsense, and I just gotta defend my guy Fury. I'm talking about you, Smoke. So listen here. First off, let me say this. Tyson Fury, I don't know what you're talking about when you talk about when nothing happened in the round or this or that or the third. Smoke, let me explain this to you. When you have low punches being thrown in a lot of those rounds, and I will agree, it was a low amount of punches being thrown in those rounds by both guys, right? But here's the thing, though. Tyson Fury was landing more of those little bit of punches. So if, as you say, nobody's doing nothing, and Tyson Fury gets 4 more punches, and who wins the fucking round? Regardless of how exciting it was. Because Wilder was landing nothing. At least those little silly jabs you're talking about, they were called scoring points. That's called scoring points. And Tyson Fury did that in those rounds that you want to sit here and call swing rounds. No, it wasn't high intensity rounds. It wasn't a lot of punches thrown by either guy. But the punches that were thrown and landed were thrown and landed by my guy, which means he won those rounds, regardless of how impressive you believe they were. He won those rounds. Hold up. My turn. Okay. I'll let y'all go back and forth. So now also, when it comes to this rematch, everybody that is Wilder fans, I keep hearing this about how Tyson Fury did the best he could do, and Wilder is the one who has chances and this, that, and the third of making improvement. Wilder's an old dog, bro, and he's the older dog. Sometimes it's hard to teach an old dog new tricks. And when old dogs get flustered and frustrated, what do? They revert right back to their old habits, which is what we've seen Wilder do numerous times. Fury is going to frustrate him. He's known to frustrate people. And then Wilder's going to go right back to seeking the right hand. That's just going to happen, bro. All
right.
Go ahead.
All right. So there was a bunch in there. And you One Two is his name? Is his name? No, what's the guy's name? 1 2. Is that who we're talking?
1 2 Kid.
That's the other guy. 1 2 Kid. What's up, man? So 1 2. I was addressing him, and then you came in. So I'm gonna
address
what
you.
There's two hands.
Oh,
two hands.
Okay,
sorry.
Yeah, okay. Go ahead.
Two hands. What's up? So I'm gonna address what you were saying, and then I'm gonna finish what I was gonna say to him. First off, if Fury is landing one more jab and or two more jabs, but Wilder is throwing a left hook to the body, who won that round?
Nah.
If that's what it's not that all punches are equal, and you can't just go to the guy that landed the most punches. It's what kind of punch landed. It's not like they were exchanging jabs. It wasn't uniform amongst all the rounds. My point really is this comprehensive boxing lesson and all this stuff. That's not what I saw. And then whether he gets frustrated, I'll say that he was, unofficially he was saying he weighed 209 pounds, but officially he was like 212, 213, something like that. I don't think he's going to come in that way, but maybe he will. Who knows? We'll have to see fight night. Also, what I saw was the moment being too big for Wilder, and him being way too anxious about it for whatever reason. People can say Fury got in his head. It could be his first pay-per-view. Whatever the hell the reason was, that moment was too big for Wilder, and he turned into half the fight telegraphing the same 1, 2, 3 combination. If you think that's going to happen again, fine. I don't. Now to go back to Mr. Two Hands, him saying that all he has is the right hand. And what we saw through Ortiz was 1 through 6 getting a schooling. That's not what I saw. I saw a left hook, and I saw I saw Wilder winning a round by almost knocking Ortiz out with the left hook. And it somewhere like early in the middle, like somewhere maybe round 3 or 4, something like that. And not only that, I saw him win a championship with not being able to throw the right hand. I see something different than what you guys see. I see a jab. I see a left hook. I see a right hand that is, that is undeniable that everybody has to give. But I see more than just a right hand.
I swear, man, your CompuBox is like my 4-year-old's English, bro. I'm telling you, because I can't. But I feel you, bro.
Yeah, I don't feel you. All I feel is you spitting some bullshit in my ear. Because I'm gonna tell you like this, Smoke. I don't know what numbers you seen. These 1 or 2 more punches and all of that. Man, you better go back and watch that fight. And Wilder, Tim made a good point. A couple of guys in the chat was making some good points, bro. Listen. Wilder won't land in no clean shots. Yeah, he landed some body shots, but when he did land body shots, he probably got pieced up 3 or 4 times, man. It wasn't no 1 or 2 punches more, Smoke. If it was 1 or 2 punches more, I would be honest about it and just say, yeah, that was a swing round. You know,
Man, that sounds crazy when he's saying, man, it's not the person who lands more punches that matter. He's saying it's the more convincing punch to him. Not what
No,
goes
no,
on in the boxing world to everybody else. He's saying it's the convincing punch that matters to him that makes the most sense. Absolutely not. You're emotionally connected to a guy that has no skill set, clearly has only relied on one skill set his whole career. And then when he finally made an elite guy, he couldn't keep him on the ground and he got schooled. So you mean to tell me, and the guy that he fought with an elite fighter that was overweight, that was battling things, your guy was primed and ready. He's been highly active, and he went in there and he made an ass of himself. And what we have been saying about this fighter, when he goes up against somebody going to step up in the competition, what happened is exactly what happened. I'm sorry if you can't see the light, my brother, but in boxing, it's scoring based off the body and the head. Body in the head. So if I'm landing more punches to you and you say you like 2 or 3 hooks, that don't mean he won the round. That means he clearly got his ass whooped that round. That's what that means. You got to be more realistic, bro.
No, okay. First off, anything was to me. I'm talking about the scoring criteria. It's not the most punches. It's clean and effective punches, and not all punches are scored the same. Jabs are not scored the same as quote unquote power punches. Everybody knows this. It's not. And Fury wasn't landing no power punches. Fury might have landed one more jab, but what my point is how do you score a round? Do you score a jab higher than a jab to the head, higher than you score a hook to the body, or are they the same? And not
you score a round by range.
Listen, let me finish. That's not the same for every judge. This is judges' thing. It's not about. I'm not one of the judges. The judges are the ones putting this out there, and I'm telling you what the criteria are that the judges are using, and you can see it from the judges' scorecards. So nobody gave Tyson Fury the first 4 rounds, and nobody even agreed on which rounds to give each fighter. So that's what I'm saying to you is the earlier in that fight, those were swing rounds. If you want to give them all to Fury and say he got schooled, fine. That's you saying the fight that you saw. That's not what I saw, and that's not what I'm used to seeing. But that's how I'm used to judges judging fights.
Bro, I thank you for just pretty much complimenting everything that I just goddamn said, because clearly I'm fully aware that boxing is based off of the cleaner, more effective punches. And clearly, judges do score rounds by ring generalship too. Fury was the ring general. Fury threw the cleaner, more effective punches. And on top of that, he made the nigga look stupid as how you sound right now. So on top of all of these things, I'm sorry you missing the points. And if you're looking at it from how you just explained how judges score rounds, Fury did all of those things and Wilder did absolutely nothing. The only time y'all got your asses up off the seat is when he got 2 knockdowns. Right or wrong?
Man, you out your damn mind. Man, the ring general the ring general was all Wilder. All Fury was doing was running for his goddamn life. Get out of here with the ring general shit.
Bruh, what did Wilder's face look like at the end of the fight? What did Wilder's face look like at the end of the fight? What did Fury's face look like? Man, he had a couple cat scratches on it, homie. Man, your man went home with 8 knots on his head. Your man went home looking like bobblehead Ray that night. Your man went home swole up.
I got you.
Jughead. Straight jughead.
Nobody.
Jughead.
What you said.
Jughead. He left the ring jughead. He left that joint jughead.
Even the judges that gave it to Fury didn't give him all first to the fight.
He left that joint jughead.
You out your mind.
Jughead.
You're out of your rabbit mind.
Jughead.
Hold on.
Nigga went home jughead.
Time out. Now, Smoke, you bugging now. You know you bugging.
I know. I didn't mean.
I know you seen the size of that nigga eye at their press conference.
Oh my god. I know
that
you saw Tyson Fury's face.
Like, but I know. I'm not talking about.
It looked like Telly Swift scratched that nigga. That's what Fury's face looked like. It looked like Tyson Fury was fucking Telly Swift. That's how his face looked like. While Wilder looked like Fury just whooped his ass and stole his bitch.
Fury was dead. We thought Fury was dead, man.
All right, y'all calm down.
That was Fury's face after he fucked Telly Swift. That was Fury's face after he fucked Telly Swift.
Fellas,
Undertaker.
Chill.
I got you, D.
Listen, it's just this simple, man. I'm not talking about Fury, man. You can say the dude face Fury's my guy. Yeah, his face was fucked up. I'm talking about Deontay Wilder right now. Did you see this side? The man's eyes damn near closed at the post-fight conference. That man shit was swollen. And it's clear, bro. All you Wilder fans, all y'all have to do is go watch the 12th round. When Wilder knocked Fury down, Fury got back up. And the reason Wilder could not stop him is because Fury hurt Wilder. And if anybody don't want to admit that, y'all not being honest, bro. Fury popped the shit out Wilder and he hurt him. You could see Wilder clearly stumbled back. He wobbled back.
Definitely. You know what? Wilder is susceptible to that cross. And when he runs in and tries to fix you, Brazil hit him with it. Ortiz hit him with it. Fury hit him with it. He's susceptible to the cross.
Right. So
He's susceptible to the cross when he moves in.
My whole point is this: Fury lumped Wilder ass up, bro. He did.
And also, his eye, and also Wilder's eye was also messed up. But it was a fight. They were in a fight. It was a good damn fight.
All right, my man, IBFP Boxing Nuke in the building. What's up, Nuke?
No.
For the love of sports, let's talk about it.
Talk about it.
We would just talk about this Fury Wilder fight, man. You know, a lot of these delusional Wilder fans want to believe that Wilder won 5 and 6 rounds or 5 rounds and 5 of them were swing rounds. Fury won 9 of those rounds easy.
Well, I just want to speak on it, D. Let me take this. You know, Tyson Fury clearly dominated the fight. This is a guy coming off a multi-year layoff, came in, dominated Deontay Wilder. Floyd Mayweather agreed he's a PBC guy. Lennox Lewis agreed he's a PBC guy. Paulie Malignaggi agreed he's a PBC guy. Anybody that's saying that Wilder won those rounds or they were swing rounds is an absolute casual and a fanboy. There's just no excuse for it. And this is another proof that proves that Deontay Wilder, the fight was over. Deontay Wilder did not say bomb squad. He didn't scream bomb squad. He was silent. He was sitting there in shock, honest and unbiased.
What I'll say about just the being honest and unbiased, that certainly doesn't describe Paulie Malignaggi or Floyd Mayweather. Neither of those guys could crack grapes when it came down to it, and they really just love boxing skills. And people who are in love with boxing skills, I don't have a problem with it. I also love boxing skills. Generally don't like Deontay Wilder because what he has is God-given talent. What they don't have, because they can't crack like him. The other part of it is none of the judges, not even the English, forget the English judge, the judge that gave it to Tyson Fury gave him all those rounds. The fight was a close fight. I imagine
the judges
be a close
were
fight.
biased. Somebody get Steve Urkel to understand the situation. The judges were biased. Everyone ringside, all the boxing experts, even the PBC guys saw Tyson Fury dominating the fight. If the judges weren't biased, it would have never been a draw, Urkel.
Okay, I mean, that's not a fact. That is your assessment of what happened at the end. You say the judges are biased, but I'm saying not all. If the judges were biased, then what would have happened was Wilder would have won. But instead, what happened was a judge gave
Wilder
it to Fury.
Clearly lost the fight, Urkel.
And the judge. My name's not Urkel, man. I'm not calling you out of your name. I'd appreciate it if you don't call me out of mine. Anyway, the judge that even gave it to Tyson Fury didn't give him all 5 of those first rounds. That's my point. If you want to say dominated, that's the way you saw it. I saw it a close fight for most of it. I thought that Tyson Fury won more rounds than Deontay Wilder. That's the fight that I saw. But I also saw a lot of clear rounds where not a lot happened to judge between the two guys.
I'm not going to sit up here and let you disrespect the sport of boxing and get away with what you just said, talking about Deontay Wilder got God-given talent because these Bama's open up a catalog of bums for him just to knock over a bunch of tomato cans that you probably can't even name yourself, and I can name them. And you're going to sit up here and disrespect Floyd Mayweather and Paulie Malignaggi and say they have no skill. Is it the skill of being able to knock someone over? Is it not called boxing? Is this not called the sport of pugilism? So you saying defensive, counterproductive individuals and guys who actually have skill set aren't God-given talent? Man, get the fuck out of here.
I said they don't have the talent to knock you out. None of them had one punch power. Did Paulie Malignaggi or Floyd Mayweather?
You said they didn't have God-given talent. Deontay Wilder does because he can throw a right hand. He don't even have the right technique on his right hand. That's why he had 7 surgeries. No, let me finish. He doesn't even have proper technique on his right hand because he's had 7 surgeries on it, bro. 7 surgeries. He don't even know how to throw that right. That's the
Okay.
skill.
All
Man,
right.
you
So,
smoking crack water, man. You drinking crack
okay.
flavored water, man.
How many surgeries did
I'm
Floyd
buying
have on his
that.
hands? How many Floyd, like, you can't have it both ways. Floyd broke his hands. He had complete skill and craft, and I understand that. But
And this
Wilder
complete
breaks
skill
his
and
hands.
craft carried him in the Money Mayweather era. Don't allude to that. Bring that up too.
Wilder breaks his hands is because he can't throw a punch.
Seven times.
It still illustrates my
Seven
point. It
times.
still illustrates my point.
Seven
What I was talking
times.
about wasn't that.
Hold on. So let me ask you a
wasn't
question
that
off of
Floyd-
what you said.
Let me
If
finish.
Wilder breaks his
My
right
point was,
hand,
let me finish.
Let him
Hold
finish.
up. My point wasn't that Floyd and Paulie had no talent. That wasn't it. They didn't have that talent. They didn't have the talent of one punch knockout power, and they're
Then just
jelly.
say power. Just say power.
I'm talking about one power. I'm saying one punch power. I said how I say it. You said how you say it, man. Like, why are you guys so
When you say talent,
because I was talking,
having one punch
and I
power.
juxtaposed it.
Okay, but
first
having
of all,
one
let me
punch
just
power.
ask him
That's
this
what I was
question.
talking about.
If
Now,
Wilder
having
don't
one
have
punch
that right
power is
hand,
not
what
a
does he have to
talent.
bring to
you
the
can go
sport?
and think.
Having one punch power is not a talent. That's a God-given thing. That's not a talent.
That's
not
what a talent is.
something.
That's what talent is. The God-given talent.
No, he was given the power. He was born with it.
Okay. I know that's the talent. That's your talent.
He just has power.
That's
it.
Power is talent, man. Okay, listen. When I'm saying power, when I say talent, that's what I'm talking about.
All right.
So we don't have to get into these semantical arguments. Like, Jesus Christ, man.
Power, but I mean, it's not. It's a little smoke, man. See, you think you slick, dog. It's not all about semantics, because when you say certain words, it's suggestive, bro. It's just like
exactly
advertising.
Right, because power is talent.
No.
Power is talent.
I'm gonna have to mute you because I was quiet while you was talking, so I'm not going for that shit. Like I said, it's just like suggestive media. When you put words in a certain way, you do have to talk about the semantics, because the way you put that meant exactly what they're saying, bro. You can sit there and switch it up, and that's what you do. You go back and forth in circles, bro. But that's just not gonna work here. I keep telling you that. My man Truth Bomb Jake in the building. What's up, Truth Bomb?
Listen, if you guys argue what my point is, then I wouldn't say anything.
Power is an attribute.
Right. Listen,
it's an attribute. It's not a talent.
Power is a talent. Speed is a talent.
It's an attribute. Speed's an attribute. Length and height and reach.
Okay, so then what is a
Those
talent?
are
So please tell me
Those are all
please tell me what's a
intangible.
talent. So tell me what's a talent.
When you associate talent, when you associate, hold on. Okay, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say is being able to efficiently show lateral movement, upper body movement, counter punch.
That's sweet.
Those are all skills. Those are all skills.
But that right. And if you can do those naturally, that's called a talent. But having
exactly.
you guys
all together.
Okay.
So D, let me hold on. Let me put it all together.
Let's not argue facts. Let's just look it up. Let's just look up the words. Let's just look it up.
Smoke likes to use semantics. He likes to use semantics. So when we talk about the word talent, right? We'll say, okay, Gervonta Tank Davis, he's a young talent coming up. Like, they use the word talent as a fighter in totality, right? They don't say, oh, he's a talented or his power is his talent. No, that's an attribute. Okay.
Attribute.
What talent is a person who has a collective of skills. So when you look at him, you can say, wow, he is talented.
Exactly.
You see a worldly collective of things. What you're speaking on when you're talking about Wilder is an intangible, otherwise a one-trick pony. A person who is only skilled at one thing and can do one thing. He is only arted and mastered in one thing. When we're speaking on Floyd Mayweather, when we speak on other great fighters, we're speaking on they are talented. They have worldly abilities. They have more than one intangible or attribute. They can bring them all together. All of the things that Deontay Wilder cannot do.
Right.
Deontay Wilder is not a power is not a talent, bro. I mean, smoke, you can click your own self off mute. I just put you on mute because you just kept talking.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. So talent equals natural attribute. That is what a talent means. A natural attribute.
No.
So what is power? What power is a natural attribute. It is something that you were born with. It is a natural attribute. That's why that's how I was using it. The way the actual word is defined.
Okay, then by your own definition, by what you just said, as if throwing a hard punch is talent.
No, I said one punch knockout power is the talent.
Okay, one punch knockout power is a talent. In boxing, anybody can smoke anybody on any given fucking day. So you're going to sit there and say every professional boxer on the planet's talented?
Oh
you
my
are fucking
God.
delusional. Can I finish without being interrupted?
Just let him finish.
Oh
Let
my
him finish.
God, dude! I didn't
Let him finish. Let him finish.
My point is I don't know. This guy spouts so much bullshit. The only thing I can really say is I cannot believe you guys on the panel are actually entertaining this bullshit. It's a circular argument. He says the sky is green, and then when you go outside and say it's blue, well, blue is kind of a shade of green. Like he's playing words.
That's what he does.
That's what
he loves semantics. He loves semantics.
No, you guys just don't know the meaning of words. That's really all this is. Like, so when I say a word, you guys don't understand the meaning of. You go in on me. I tell you there's the meaning of it, and now it's because I'm changing.
You lost all credibility whenever you said. You lost all credibility when you said Wilder was a better talent than Floyd Mayweather and Paulie Malignaggi.
I didn't say that. I said they had it. I didn't, but I never
I'll
said
interrupt
that.
you. I've listened to you interrupt everybody on here with your bullshit. Every time somebody goes to make a point and chop you up, you change your words and you step on top of it.
But I never said that. All right, but I never said that. First off, I said they don't have that talent. That's what I said. Not that they had no talent. That is a ridiculous statement. And the fact that you need to switch my words to make stupid shit like that says more about you than what it says about my argument.
So
we'll go back and listen to the stream and we'll see if you can backtrack it then.
Okay, what if you try and rewind it? No, it's easy to backtrack.
You're in the wrong room talking to the wrong fucking guy to be selling that bullshit over here, dude. You need to go throw that bullshit to your little fanboys.
Man, get out of here, man. Just get all the way out of here.
Okay, hold on, Jake. Let's go back to one at a time. Smoke, chill the fuck out. Let's go back to one at a time. Go ahead, unbiased.
No, it's okay. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Who wanted to say something, Jake or Smoke? Y'all just go one at a time, bro. I'll let y'all get it in, but just all that talking man. They can't hear y'all in the chat. All right, cool.
Listen, I didn't have a problem. I didn't have a problem saying when I was wrong. Now all you got to do is say you're wrong instead of trying to make it all about me.
I'll tell you what. I'll admit this. I will at least say this. Everybody with the exception of you is wrong. You're the only one right. You're the only one that watches boxing with judge's eyes. You're the only one that can spot natural talent, and you're the only guy that sees that sweet science. Thank you for coming here and schooling us all. Can I finish?
Can you start?
Yeah, man. Yeah, let him finish.
I want to thank you for bringing your expert knowledge to us and schooling us. We're all down with you now, man. Thank you for making. Man, Wilder, you're right. Wilder is the greatest boxer to ever lace up gloves in the history of the sport. Thank you for schooling me.
I just got a question.
Because of course that's what I said.
I just got one question for the panel. Just a question for the panel. Is power a skill?
Absolutely not.
No.
Is power a skill?
No.
Okay, so Smoke, do you know the definition of talent?
I just said what it was. I said power was a talent.
Okay, so you said no.
I said
the definition of okay.
I don't know what the
be
hell
quiet.
You guys are on
the definition of talent. I know. We just gotta say this. The definition of talent is natural aptitude or skill. Okay, so we just went over the fact that power is not a skill. So what you said was bullshit.
But it is natural aptitude, right?
So hold on.
Aptitude, right? It's two things that the definition said, right? It wasn't just one. So your semantics are bullshit.
No, your semantics are bullshit.
Okay, right. So what's natural aptitude? Is that talent? Is power natural aptitude? Thank you. Jesus Christ, man.
Are you guys finished with that? Are we finished with that?
I'm goody.
All right, hold on. We got somebody in there. Let me see. We got everybody want to jump in on this one. Y'all got it going.
Hey, you can bump me, D. I'm done with this guy. This is the
You had nothing to say about boxing. All you have to do is talk about me, and I don't know you. I don't care about you enough to talk about you.
Jake, I appreciate you coming.
Yeah, do your thing, D.
All right, my man. One, two, kid in the building. What's up with you, bro?
What's going on, panel? How's everybody doing?
What's good?
What's going on?
What's happening? What's happening?
You guys in here talking about Wilder? about how great he is.
We are. I'm about because
of course.
else up here.
He got one hell of a great. He had one hell of a great right hand.
What up, Dave?
So,
what's up? Hey, turn your sound down, bro. You got feedback.
what was the initial argument? Wasn't it that Fury won majority of the first rounds?
Right.
Yeah. That's better. Now just put yourself on mute till you talk. All right, go ahead. Yeah, that was the initial argument.
Yeah, I don't see how Wilder won the first couple rounds. I don't get it. So
yeah, I don't know. But all right, hey Ma, what's up with you, bro?
What's good with it, D? Shit, I'm just listening to this shit. This get the smoke, nigga. This shit is crazy. This nigga.
Hey, that's Smoke, bro. He's ready. That's how he do his, bro. He always he's a controversial one on the channel. Like Smoke on
I see. He like Terrell Knox. Them niggas is brothers. Them niggas are secretly brothers.
I always say, nah. Fuck that shit. Terrell Knox on a different page, dog. But I always say this. Smoke, he always bring that smoke just for us to fire his ass up. That's what they do. That's my dude Smoke, though. He think he be in here getting, bodies, but he be in here getting bodies.
But now, I watched the fight again the other day. They showed it on TV, I think about like 2 days ago. But yeah, man, Fury was outworking him for sure. You feel me? Wilder had a couple of little, good power punches in there, but they wasn't really clean. And every time he really tried to get off on Fury tied him up and then got loose on him again with them jabs. And you can't say the jabs wasn't effective as much as the power punches, just because a power punch can knock you down. And if that's the case, nigga, every motherfucking heavyweight they get up in there can knock each other out. Everybody really skillful, so that shit ain't true. But niggas come up with the narratives. That's
what Jake was saying to Smoke. If you're gonna utilize that logic, then you're pretty much saying that about damn near every fighter.
That shit facts. That's facts. Facts.
Yeah, I hate to get off subject, y'all, but I would like to say this.
Hey, Mom, go on mute. There you go. All right, go ahead. 1-2, kid.
Like, you ever notice that when these guys look beatable, or they're in with a guy and they get somewhat exposed, if that's the term you want to use, that the footage disappears for almost like 2 years?
Always.
Because I used to look for that Herrera fight with Garcia, and I just couldn't find that shit nowhere. and same with Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury, that replay. It was like you could find small highlights, but you couldn't see when the other guy was putting in that work. It's like, is that how they doing things now? You can't watch the replay of the whole fight until.
Yeah, bro. Same thing with the prelims with Yeah, I was gonna say same thing with the prelims with Marcelo's Wilder with that first knockdown when William Deeks knocked him out. Man, they didn't even they scrapped that video. They took that joint off of everything they possibly could. You can't find it nowhere, bro. You didn't see it live, you wasn't gonna see it.
I thought it was just me.
You gotta start downloading these videos and shit. Like when they put them up, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you gotta get them quick.
I haven't been able to find Russell Lomachenko for years. I've been looking for this for a copy of this.
Can't find that either.
No, I can't find it nowhere either. Yeah, bro, you gotta download it. Somebody probably got it downloaded, saved on a computer or something. But if you do that, that's the only way you can get it.
Yeah,
or while they're getting dropped by Sconiers.
Can't find that either.
Yeah, they literally put in that. That's probably why they're having issues with money, because they got to find every piece of the internet that has any type of fucking shit and then bring that shit down.
They better take Tank versus Gamboa down soon then.
PBC net neutrality.
But they'll bring that.
It's not even that. It's licensing fees. Those catalogs, you know, that's what, if you notice the Zone, all their old fights, that's Golden Boy's catalog. You know, that's license.
But
those deals become very lucrative. I forget how much Muhammad Ali got for it. How much Bob Arum paid Muhammad Ali for his catalog, but like hundreds of million, like, you know, those things are worth money.
You literally get a strike if you try to post some of these PBC fights. As to, you don't really get that when you do like Top Rank, the Zone, or anything else, like any footage of the fight. Like, look at what happens to Bruce Vane all the time. They be taking his shit down.
Yeah, right. CBS is not playing with you. That's you know, that's what it is.
Yeah, they ain't playing with the WBO either, huh?
Who's not playing with the WBO?
The PBC.
Where you get that from?
Well, they don't recognize it.
Where you get that from?
Where did you get
it? It's a fact.
It's a fact.
Said it on Chris Mannix radio. It came out and said it. Ever since the inception of Terrence Crawford bullying the whole 147. They really? Scrapped the WBO.
Because Porter just, I mean, Spence just said, I think like 3-4 days ago, they need that WBO strap.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, goody. But is he gonna keep that same energy when it's time to go get it?
I don't have a crystal ball, but I know what he said. I said it 3 or 4 days ago.
When Manny Pacquiao and Keith Thurman fight, they didn't even put up the WBO champion. They put up the WBA regular, the WBA super, and the IBF and the WBC. Nobody else.
Two hands. Where'd you get that from?
Yeah, I mean, I got it, and they also got Lomachenko having. Live TV. ESPN got Lomachenko.
Hey, now he want to take. Hey, now he want to hold. Now he want to hold Spence's word accountable. Now you want to hold him accountable for his word now, because that's what you basically bringing up. But you don't want to hold him accountable when he say, hold on, go get a strap, and then I'm gonna come see you. If I can't get the Manny Pacquiao fight, I'm gonna come see you. I'm gonna push for that fight. So why is he not pushing for the fight if Manny Pacquiao's team already said that they don't want the fight? But you're using this word now though, but you don't want to use it on those logics though, right?
I don't know what you mean by pushing the fight. He said he needs a WBO strap in 2020.
No. Bro, before the Porter fight, he came out on the interview and he said, I want Pacquiao. If I can't get the Pacquiao fight, I'm going to push Al Haymon to push for the Crawford fight. Did he not say that? Did he not say that?
He did.
Okay, so why are you now using his word as your argument, but you don't want to use it as your argument on that subject, though? You can't be contradiction, bro. You can't be contradicting, bro. You can't be contradicting, bro. Stop that shit. Stop that shit.
Wait, hold on. Okay. Right after the Porter fight, what did he say? Oh, we're gonna fight Danny next. Okay, but go ahead, Smoke.
Okay, as I said, for now this is the third time. He just said he wants the WBO in 2020.
But he was scheduled to fight Spence, though, right?
He was. Who was scheduled to fight Spence?
I mean, Danny. Spence was scheduled to fight Danny, though, right? He just said, Spence said he was going to fight and push for that Crawford fight if he couldn't get the Manny fight after Porter, right? But then Danny got in the ring and they were about to make that fight, right?
Oh, okay. Crickets in this motherfucker.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, the wife called. Could you repeat? Am I still here?
That's convenient.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Okay. So he said.
Hello.
The guy just talking, right?
Hello?
He said.
You guys can hear me?
Yes.
Yeah,
can you hear?
Hello. Yeah.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. So he just said that Spence said after the Porter fight, he was going to try to get the Manny fight. If he couldn't get the Manny fight, he was indefinitely going to push for the Terrence Crawford fight. Okay. After the Porter fight, Danny got in the ring, and then Danny versus Spence was scheduled for January. Do you remember that?
scheduled for January? No, I don't remember that, but I do remember getting in the ring. Yeah.
Okay, so they were supposed to fight. Okay, so that would mean Spence lied, correct?
It would mean that Spence lied if Danny Garcia wasn't the mandatory the WBC was calling for it.
Oh,
but I'm pretty sure that Danny Garcia was the mandatory and the WBC was calling for it. And still he said 2020, not next. He said he's going to push for the fight, not push for the fight next, unless I'm missing something that you're saying.
He said next in the Fight Hype interview. He even said I would. He said I will even use Terrence Crawford to get that Manny Pacquiao fight in that interview. Right. If I can't get the Manny Pacquiao fight, then I'm going to fight Terrence Crawford. Those are his words.
Right. So are you saying that he's pushing for the Danny Garcia fight instead of this the Crawford fight?
No, I'm saying he's fighting. No.
Are you saying the WBC called mandatory?
I'm saying he's fighting Danny next instead of unifying, which all of the sanctioning bodies would be okay with.
All right. No. I mean, I hear you. So let me ask you, if he fights Danny Garcia and then fights Crawford, are you going to have a problem with the fact that he didn't fight Danny Garcia first and now he's lying, or can he fight Danny Garcia and fight Crawford and he's not lying?
You trying to pull a slick goalpost move?
No, I'm just trying to
because that was not what we talking about. You know exactly what we was talking about. Both of them dudes just said it. Now you trying to goalpost move on the slick shit, talking about some Danny Garcia. Nah, keep that shit funky, homie. Don't try that shit.
He brought Danny Garcia into it. He brought Danny Garcia into it, not me.
Because Danny, that wasn't even in the context of the conversation. You try to move it around. You know he brought up Danny Garcia on the fact that they already had it penciled in and put Danny Garcia in the ring to fight him over Bud Crawford when he was supposed to be fighting Bud Crawford after if he couldn't get Pacquiao. Come on, bro. Okay. You trying to move goalposts. That's what I mean. You know too.
So wait a minute.
Now that's the third person.
Let me. I got it. I get you. So when Pacquiao got into the ring with him after who did he fight? Who did he fight? Was it Mikey Garcia? After Pacquiao got into the ring, then did the Pacquiao fight happen? Was that the fight that happened next, or was that just the guy in the ring and he said he was trying to get a fight with?
Nigga, how you a
no.
Hold on.
I'm trying to figure out what the hell you guys are talking about.
Hold on. How are you a defense attorney that need the prosecution to help you with your defense?
I'm trying to figure out what you guys are saying. I don't want to get it wrong. I don't want to get it wrong.
The facts,
listen. I'm trying to figure out what it is you guys' actual problem is. Is it that he's not fighting Crawford next?
No, that's what he said. Our problem is he said that he will be trying to fight Crawford if he can't get the Manny fight. That's what he said verbatim. That's not us making it up. We're not putting things on Spence. We're using Spence's words and holding him accountable. That is it.
And if it's scrap season, why are you fighting Danny Garcia and not Terrence Crawford anyway?
Period.
It's scrap season.
Let me say this. This was before the whole accident and everything. So maybe when he went on Fight Hype, maybe he did get hype. Maybe he knocked back a couple of drinks, because the reason I said he was ducking was before that interview. Remember, like I told you earlier, then go back to the negotiation table. So he comes on Fight Hype and he says these things, but then he don't live up to them, bro. And how can you argue that he's not ducking? Like, why? Why do you keep doing this to yourself? Because you're not doing it to us. You're just doing it to yourself.
I'm not doing anything to anyone. Like I said, I think they're just building a fight. I'm just trying to figure out if this fight happens in 2020. If this fight, that's what we're all doing. That's what this whole segment is. We're just building a fight and just popping the popcorn, like they said. But I'm not emotional about the whole thing. I hear you. I'm not interested in pointing fingers because I don't see anybody coming up with offers. So I think that they're both are just on that bullshit. So, but that's a horse that's a different topic for a different day. What my question really is, and nobody answered, if he fights Danny Garcia and then fights Terrence Crawford, is that a problem for anybody?
I honestly don't want him to fight Danny, to be honest with you. I'd rather him fight the the IBF mandatory to get that out the way.
And then fight Crawford.
Because Danny is more of a challenging fight. I think him coming off a car accident, I would think that would be the better just for him to, you know what I'm saying, see how he really feels.
That's Abdul
I get you. That's the wisest choice.
Dude,
I mean,
Abdul Kakarov is the IBF mandatory. Quadratio, Abdul Kakarov.
And I'll give Spence that. I don't want to see Crawford versus Spence right now. I want Spence to at least get a fight back so we could see how he looks, and that way Crawford could get full credit for the win. Because I really feel like if Crawford goes in there and he whoops Errol Spence badly after this car accident, people will say, "Oh, it was the car accident," blah blah blah. So I want Spence to get a fight, look like he did normally, or look kind of like that, and then we could get the fight going. Plus, we need that fight for Spence's health and to see how he is, anyways.
That's right.
So I can get behind that feeling, but there's also room for me to just go by what Spence is saying. And there's, from all reports from what Spence is saying, is that he's going to come back and he doesn't need any of all of that stuff. I totally hear what you're saying. As a fan, I think that is the wise thing to do, is to, and not even Abdul Kakarov, because I don't know who the hell that dude is, and he could be tough and all this stuff. I would take a known quantity, somebody that I know I can get back in the ring with and get all, answer all the questions that need answering. But what he's saying is he doesn't need that. So if what he's saying is I can do Danny and Crawford, is anybody going to have a problem with him fighting Danny and then fighting Crawford?
He said a lot. He said Crawford, get a belt, then I'll fight you. Crawford got a belt.
I'm just saying. If he gets in the ring with the guys, if once he gets in the ring, all those excuses go out the window, right? If he says all this shit, but then takes an easy touch, everybody understands, and everyone's gonna get a pass for taking an easy touch. But if he actually gets in the ring and he fights Danny and Crawford, then all of those excuses go out the window. He's gonna have to man up and take whatever lumps he gets, right? Because that's what he said. This is the bed that he made with his mouth. Right, that's what we're talking about. Him actually living up to his words. Right, that's what this entire segment is. So if he fights Garcia and fights Crawford, then will he have lived up to his words?
Bruh, he didn't live up to his words when he said he would fight him if he couldn't get Pacquiao in the ring. He didn't live up to his words when he said he would fight him after Mikey Garcia, to be honest. Because he on radio on record saying he would fight him after he fought Mikey Garcia. He didn't even fight him after he fought Mikey Garcia. Move the goalposts again, man. He ain't been living up to his words, man. Don't try to push that shit for some form of agreement.
And then prior to that, he said get a title. He didn't live up to those words.
Yeah,
he didn't live up to those words.
Well, he still has a title, right? He still has time to live up to these words, correct? That's what I'm saying. Doesn't that fulfill his words?
No, he doesn't have time. Hold on for a second. Hold up. No, he don't have time, and I'm gonna tell you why he don't have time. See, again, Smoke. I keep telling you this, but obviously you're not listening, so I'm gonna have to tell you again. He's already guilty. See, he's already guilty of ducking. He doesn't have any more time when he's already guilty. When you come on Fight Hype and say that I'm going to beat Sean Porter, take his belt, this is how I started this whole damn thing off. Okay? When you say that,
I'm listening.
And then you say we'll go to the negotiation table, and you do what you say, you go win the belt, and you don't even go back to the negotiation table, don't even mention the negotiation table, you're already ducking then, bro. And he's already done this before any of this nonsense you're talking about.
Okay,
he's not ducking when he's already proven to have ducked.
Are you saying that he was supposed to go from the Porter fight to the Sean to the negotiating table?
I'm not saying anything.
No, I'm just understanding. That's what the reference is. But he went from the Porter fight to a. But he went to the Porter fight to a car accident. There was no time for a negotiating table.
No. Okay, well, before you even try to throw that in, he had an interview about this after the Porter fight, before the car accident. He had an interview about it, and he didn't even mention Crawford. He didn't even mention him. And he's talking about all of these PBC fighters. No, my turn to talk. He's talking about all of these PBC fighters, and he didn't even mention Crawford. So he furthered and confirmed that it was a duck, bro. Okay, now then the car accident happens, so there's no need to lean on that because he already ducked twice before that concerning the same topic, bro. Twice. You understand?
All right. All right. All right. So all right. So just to put it all into perspective. I've been saying, for me, I've been saying for the last two years that this fight is going to happen in 2020. I'm still on it's going to happen in 2020. No. You guys are saying what? That is not going to happen in 2020, and it's because Spence is ducking.
Nobody. That's what you're saying.
That's what
right. What we're trying to say is no, but you're a defense attorney, so let me talk to you. Like, check it out. You're just denying the fact that he ain't got to eat crow and then redeem himself. You're saying he was never guilty. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, well, I'm saying he ain't ducking anything.
No, what you're right, but
I'm
because
the charges are completely false.
But nothing. You got no proof of that. We all got proof. Like, you're skating. You got your skates. You got your ice skates on. But it's too hot in here.
Go ahead.
It's too hot in here.
Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt.
Ain't no ice.
Too hot for what?
It's too hot in here to skate back and forth because you got too many people on the panel that know what they're talking about.
Oh, okay. I mean, really, it's all a bunch of an opinion. There's no facts in this whole thing.
You're the only one with an opinion.
You're creating an opinion.
Here he goes with this.
Listen, all we're doing is saying whether or not he ducked. And you're saying, yeah, he did, and here's the evidence because he didn't mention him in an interview.
No, he said it himself.
Okay.
He said it himself. You just heard it. Did he mention Terrence Crawford? Nah.
Does that mean Does that mean and that because he didn't mention him, that means he's ducking?
Yes.
Because he said he's going to fight him, and then he turned around and not mention him. Yes, that means he's ducking.
That is the opinion.
No, because if someone said, wait a minute. If someone says go out and get a title, and then we can fight. He gets the title. He comes to the dude's face and says, "Yo, I got my promoter right here. It sucks that your promoter is missing in some sort of undisclosed location, but I got this going on right here. Let's make this happen. I got my promoter right here. Let's make it work." And it's he ain't. I'm gonna fight Mikey. Yep. I might fight Danny.
Actually,
I might get Thurman.
Actually, said I gotta go call Al and ask permission to he'll let me know if I can fight or not. That's exactly what he said.
On top of that, he said he told just to confirm the duck. Okay, he told Crawford go get a belt. Crawford got a belt. Then what did Spence say when he got the belt? He said, Crawford, you're on the wrong side of the street. I'm loyal to Showtime. Okay, that's what he said. So that's a duck right there. Okay, because you told the man to get a belt and then I'll fight you. Then when he got the belt, you told him he was on the wrong side of the street.
And there's three more ducks to add to that. He's ducked him 5 times by my count.
Okay. If that's what you guys consider ducking, I have a different definition.
Let me ask you this: is this ducking? It's strap season. Let's fight people that don't have straps.
And let's not recognize the people who have straps.
Yeah, I mean, how do you explain that? I'm going to go take the easy route. I'm going to go fight Garcia. Why would he fight anybody that doesn't have a belt if it's strap season?
That's right. Wow. How are you going to recognize the WBO until it's wrapped around Bud Crawford's waist, and now all of a sudden you don't know what it is? It's
right. Fellas. Hold on 1 second. Smoke, hang out. Don't jump off. I gotta let my dude in right quick. I'm gonna let you back.
Hello.
Yeah, hold on. Just hold.
Hello. Yeah. Oh, cool. Was it? I didn't mean to interrupt. The wife called again. Sorry.
My question for you was.
Hold on, Jake. Hold on, Jake. Hold on.
Yeah.
I gotta let my dude Eric in right quick.
I just want to say this. D, if we were talking about Anthony Joshua right now, Smoke would be saying all of this was a duck. You know that, right?
Yeah, no doubt. What's up, Eric? What's good, bro?
Yo, you good? Can you hear me?
Yeah. I
cool.
know you heard the conversation. I know you want to jump on right quick and talk about that.
Yeah, Smoke's just talking rubbish right now. Excuses. That's all I'm hearing.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you do. That's what you're gonna hear. That's what you're gonna hear from a lot of these fans that just don't want to accept the truth, man. Who was that just jumped off? Well, all right. Well, I'm gonna let Smoke back in so you can address them. There you go, Smoke. You back in the building. What you gotta say?
Listen. I feel like Spence opened himself up for all of the charges that you guys have put at his feet. And I'm not one to sit here and defend the guy for what he did.
But you are. You are defending him.
Let me finish. Let me finish. From what I understand, this is the way that they want to build this fight, and the fight is going to happen in 2020. And to me, it's still going to happen in 2020. Just because he said he got a belt doesn't mean. Let me finish. Just because he says get a belt and I'll fight you doesn't mean that he's going to fight him next. Not to me. But whatever. But he says I'm going to clean up my side of the street. You clean up yours. All of that, whatever the hell it is, whatever words he chose in order to get the energy that he got, he brought that on himself. For me, I'm interested in the fight happening, not all of this whole build-up thing. And I still have faith that the fight is going to happen in 2020.
You know what's ironic? It's ironic. It's ironic that he didn't say, "Hey, I'll fight Bud in 2020." He never said he's going to fight. He said he's going to fight. Wanted to fight Bud one time. Get the belt. That's a duck. Other side of the street. That's a duck. Easy route. That's a duck. I better call out. Okay, all four of those, and you're going to say none of those are a duck at all. None. You kidding me?
Listen, I got one question now. You guys you're justified in feeling that way.
Yeah, that
go ahead, unbiased.
So like, if AJ were to say what Errol Spence said about fighting Deontay Wilder, is that a duck? Did you actually no? Scratch that. Did you ever? Okay, do you think AJ is ducking Wilder or ducked Wilder? Go ahead.
I think he ducked that $50 million.
Why?
Did Wilder duck the 120?
No, he didn't ask for it.
He didn't ask for it.
No, he didn't ask for it, and it was a multi-fight deal. It wasn't even a fight for no. No, he didn't duck the 120. He rejected the 120. What AJ asked for the $50 million, got it, and then didn't take it because he wanted to fight in England. It had nothing to do with it. Yeah, no. One thing has nothing to do with the other.
Go ahead, Eric.
Right. The 50 million, AJ never asked for 50 million. It was an interview saying how much would it take, and he just said a number out there saying 50 million. Then Wilder messaged him saying, "Oh, I'll give you 50 million, but you've got 24 hours." What sort of contract is that?
And they asked. Hold on. They asked to have a meeting. You forget that, right? And then what did Wilder's team say? They said, "Oh no, just accept it. Just accept it." That's what they said.
Okay. All right. So if we're going to get into the intricacies, the point of it, and we can, because what you just said. Okay. So let's get into it. First off, he did ask for it, and the whole thing was he said the fight was $100 million fight, and if it's $100 million fight, fine. Give me $50 million.
You better source every bit of what you're saying because you called your sources and timestamps earlier. Source it, man. Go ahead.
Okay, I didn't timestamp. That was somebody in the chat. So somebody in the chat, please.
You asked for the timestamp and you asked for the link, and I provided it to you.
Right,
go ahead.
Right. Awesome. So, would you want to do it again for this one? Anyway, like I was saying, AJ did ask for the $50 million, and there was supposed to be a meeting. And that $50 million got negotiated and argued way past the meeting and whatever 24-hour deadline that was still on the table as far as June.
Meeting? When and where did they have that? When and where did they have that meeting?
All right. So this was supposed to be in April is when Deontay, I believe, is somewhere around April 20.
Okay, Smoke. No, it's okay. Okay, just answer the question.
I'm trying to, but
wait, no, hold on, because you're going all over the place. Just answer this one question, and then we can move along. Just answer this one question, then we can move along. Did Deontay Wilder's team, in fact, turn down meetings to discuss that $50 million? Just answer that.
Yes.
the conversation is over right there.
Yeah,
we don't need to go. Hold on, because we don't need to go
That's
further and say, oh,
Why?
well, they were still talking about it.
Yes, because
the
they weren't
media
talking about it
and
after
blah
the
blah blah.
meeting.
Yeah. Hold on.
No.
Through
They
the
were
media,
not
when they asked,
They
okay,
were
see.
talking about.
Well,
they were
hold
still
on, Smoke.
negotiating the $50 million.
There's no
No, they
negotiating
weren't.
involved. They're not
No, they
meeting.
weren't.
How the hell do you
Okay,
negotiate?
how do you? Okay,
How do you negotiate if you're not in a meeting?
So look, this is why what you're saying doesn't even matter, because you just admitted they turned down having a meeting to actually negotiate that 50 million, see where it was coming from, the legitimacy of that 50 million to discuss the fight. So if they turn down, so you make an offer and then turn down a meeting to discuss it. How serious are you about making the fight?
The intricacies that he should have been talking about was that $50 million was a counter offer because they threw it out there because they offered Wilder $120 million and he turned it down. So they countered with 50 and had no intentions on even putting the fight together. That's why they didn't even have a meeting.
This was before that. This was before that. They offered Wilder 12 million, right? And Wilder's team didn't like that offer or whatever happened, and then they offered him 15 million or 15.5 to take the fight. And that's what happens when you negotiate. So for all you Danny Garcia fans that talk shit about Crawford and he got 3 million, when you don't like the offer, you negotiate. When you actually want to fight the person, that's what you do. But Danny didn't do that. So yeah.
All right, so at first it was 12.5. Deontay offered 50, and then they upped it to 15 after he offered him 50. The whole thing about the meeting was they canceled a meeting, and then after that meeting got canceled, they still negotiated further outside of the meeting as per Eddie.
So there really wasn't a 24-hour period.
Let him talk.
Exactly. After the meeting was canceled,
what they're doing is talking.
Nah, I had him on mute, bro. Let him talk. Go ahead, Smoke.
Good.
After that meeting was canceled, the famous meeting that he was going to be in New York for anyway, and they're supposed to be to talk about the discussion, and they're like, if you don't agree to the terms, there's no need for a meeting. After that meeting didn't happen, they continued to discuss the matter and negotiate the $50 million. So the fact that meeting did not happen did not, in fact, derail the offer of $50 million. And if you want a time-link stamp, if you want for me to bring up the video where Eddie says this himself, I can bring it up.
Yes. So hold on, Truth Bomb. So that's where you got it all misconstrued. Okay, so the 50 million was not still being negotiated. What was happening was Eddie Hearn was in the media making fun of the $50 million offer and making fun of the fact that they didn't want to actually have a meeting to discuss the $50 million. That was not Eddie Hearn negotiating of the $50 million offer. In fact, the $50 million was so far gone and far off the table that Deontay Wilder then took the $15 million offer that was offered beforehand. And then they started to discuss that. Okay, and then what actually ended up happening was Shelly Finkel and Deontay Wilder did not agree to terms. Now, if you need a video for that, I can provide you that, because Shelly Finkel, out of his own mouth, said we didn't agree to terms.
Okay. So no, that's not him making fun of it at all. He said that they talked about the proof of funds, and he said that's not the issue. We've been talking behind the scenes outside of the media, and that's good. But what they would like is to have the fight in England, because he felt like AJ had earned the right to have it in England, and they were still discussing that $50 million offer. So, and
no,
that was the offer was the $50 million offer in April. That meeting was supposed to happen like 3 days after that meeting, and they were still discussing it in May and June. The $50 million
they weren't
offer.
Discussing it because Wilder agreed to the 15 million. Hold on, no, I'm actually pull up the article now just so I can shut it down.
Right,
but you continue talking.
And on June 1st is when Wilder agreed to the $15 million. And in that art, even when he agreed to it, he said the $50 million is still on the table.
Where are you hearing this from? Because the 50 million was debunked straight away by Frank Warren because the money was coming from BT. AJ can't fight on BT. He's exclusively signed to Sky Sports. So the money was going to be put up by BT. So
Okay,
therefore,
Stephen.
they couldn't take that fight. And they knew that. That's why they couldn't do. That's why they didn't give proof of funds. That's why they didn't want to take the meeting, because they knew if AJ had accepted that, then they'd come to the table saying, right, BT has put this money forward. This is what's going to happen. Then AJ would have to back out of that fight. And Deontay Wilder that knew that was going to happen. So then the narrative would change, saying, oh, well, AJ didn't accept the money. Oh, we've proved proof of funds. We've told them where the money's coming from, and AJ is ducking it. That's what was going to happen. Frank Warren said BT was going to put that money up. That AJ can't fight on BT. He's exclusive to Sky.
Okay, what you were talking about is Shelly Finkel asking Frank Warren to put in a bid so they can get a price for the fight. Stephen Espinoza has already said that Showtime secured the $50 million let me finish, and that Sky Sports was going to be the exclusive broadcast partner. He said that in a Twitter beef with Eddie Hearn. That Sky
and Eddie
Sports,
Hearn told him to prove it, and he didn't.
No. What he said was you didn't. He asked for proof of sending the contract, not proof that Sky Sports was supposed to be the broadcast partner.
And the Sky Sports was in the as the broadcaster is in the contract, which he did not send, and that's how we know Espinoza was doing his normal shit and lying. Okay. But anyways, back to the fucking 50. Hold on. Okay. Hold on. No, let's get back. Let's get back to the 50 minutes. Let's get back to that 50 minutes.
No. First off, Stephen Espinoza cannot lie about this, or else he would open himself up.
So why didn't?
Let me finish.
How you know the proof?
Let me finish.
He doesn't.
Here we go. This is what I tell you.
He doesn't.
Stephen Espinoza. This is what I'll tell you. Because Stephen Espinoza is the vice president. Stephen Espinoza is the vice president of Showtime. Yeah. He's not the owner of Showtime. If he's saying that they secured $50 million and didn't, then he's opened himself up to being fired. That's number one. Second part of it. Second part of it. Let me finish. I'm not done. Second part of it is Showtime is a wholly owned subsidiary of CBS Sports, a publicly traded company. As an officer let me finish. As an officer, you cannot put out false information to the public. That is actually an SEC fine. The penalties of which are either fines or being jailed. So if Stephen Espinoza is lying, then actually what the penalties are being fired, being fined, and going to jail.
Damn, Smoke. Hey, hold on. Let's give a round of applause for smoking this bullshit. So look, Smoke, I just got one quick question, man. Why didn't he disprove what Eddie Hearn said then? If everything what you just said is true, why didn't he disprove Eddie Hearn?
Because what Eddie Hearn asked for wasn't the responsibility of Stephen Espinoza. What Eddie Hearn was asking for was a contract, which was actually Shelly Finkel's part of the deal, not Stephen Espinoza. What Stephen Espinoza's part of the deal was securing the money and making sure the broadcasters were all straight.
Okay, so the money. Hold on. So let's get this right. Let's get this straight. So the money aspect is not a part of the contract then.
I didn't say that. I didn't. Okay.
Okay. So then, obviously, because you just said that's Shelly Finkel's job, who is his manager, right?
The entire contract.
Okay. So Espinoza, right, who apparently saw parts of the contract, which would mean that he had the contract in his hand.
The parts that he needs to negotiate. He needed to negotiate as the broadcaster and the person securing the party.
So if he had, hold on,
care about the judges and
he screwed.
That's not the part of the contract.
All he did was screen. He took a picture of a piece of paper that said rights to Sky Sports. I remember this vividly. And then Eddie Hearn said, "Oh, well, send the whole contract. Let's see the whole thing. You got the contract right in front of you." My question to you now is, why didn't he expose the truth?
Because as Espinoza told him, he said Shelly Finkel is the person who has the contract, and you know that because that is the person
but he had the contract in his hand.
No, what he had was the terms of the contract that he was responsible for.
Oh my God.
May I retort?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury and in the chat, I would like to take this defense attorney and put him on the stand and ask him these simple questions. Does Deontay Wilder say things like "speak it, believe it, receive it"?
Yes.
Okay.
He says that exactly.
All right. Exactly. Now, Now, when this man gets his, let's say Ruiz gets the championships, does he say things like unification, one name, one champion?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. Okay. Now, when he loses this, when Ruiz loses this, what happened to speak it, believe it, receive it?
I think what he's speaking and believing is that AJ doesn't want to make a fight. He said it,
Why?
and I think that's
But
what
why?
he's making it.
But why doesn't he want to fight?
I think we're just talking about it because he's tried to make a fight. He tried to. He gave the man what he offered. He didn't want to go. He agreed to the $15 million. They found somebody else.
Understand?
And by your standard, okay, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So now, why is he using words like "my precious"?
He doesn't. That's you and Gollum.
No. That's what he said. He tried to say prestigious, and he said precious.
Oh, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's punch.
Oh, okay. So now I'm telling the truth because.
No, I don't know what you're talking about. Like I didn't know what you're talking about. Fine.
Well, now he's hung up on the WBC.
Listen,
he's no longer speaking, believing, and receiving. He's retreating. No.
Okay. So and also, I just need to say this. So Deontay Wilder wanted the fight because he offered AJ the $50 million, but then Deontay Wilder turned down the actual meeting process of finalizing a deal for this offer that he made. He turned that down, right? And Smoke is saying that the negotiations went on further. Well, they offered that in April. Okay, then Wilder took the deal in June.
Yes.
So how long was this $50 million negotiation talk that you're talking about? Because he took the 15, right? Okay, so that was what?
In June. June 1st.
Right. So they were only talking about it for a month?
Yes, they were talking about the $50 million for 1 month, and then you'll see.
Okay. And in that month,
way longer than 24 hours. Way
in
longer
that
than
month,
a meeting. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
In that month, Eddie Hearn is seen on YouTube. Now, anybody who's not listening, multiple videos tearing down the $50 million, saying it's not legitimate, saying we asked for proof for funds, saying we wanted a meeting. They turned it down. Is that negotiations to anybody else on this panel besides Smoke? Does that sound like they're negotiating?
Okay, but you're not telling the entire story of it, and there's a timeline for all of what was happening. There was a part where he says he wanted proof of funds, and then there's a part where he said he never asked for proof of funds. So yeah, it was all negotiating, and there was a bunch of Eddie Hearn negotiating, and then but what we do know is that happened. What we do know is
Eddie Hearn
is reaching
out.
Okay.
Eddie Hearn reached out to make this meeting, right? They turned it down. Okay. Eddie Hearn then, for that month that you're claiming they were negotiating, was shitting on that $50 million offer. not saying, oh, we're still in talks for the $50 million. No, he was shitting on that. That's what he was. That's what he was actually doing. Now, Deontay Wilder was the only ones talking about, and the $50 million is still on the table. There's an article that says we're going to take the 15, but the $50 million is still there if AJ wants it. It's up to him. Yes. It's his decision. That's what he said, right? But then he took the 15 million. So the only person that's negotiating, according to Smoke, is Deontay Wilder with himself. Because Eddie Hearn and AJ, they wasn't taking that. There's feedback.
Who got the feedback?
They weren't taking that 50 million serious. Yeah, mad feedback.
He said he was taking it seriously. He said the reason why they didn't take it was because he wanted to have the fight in the UK, not because it wasn't real, not because of BT Sports, not because of any of this crap that you guys are talking about. Hearn said in his own words, the reason why they didn't take the fight was because they wanted to fight in the UK, and he was willing to actually make less money in order to make that happen. And so Deontay Wilder said, "Fine, I will fight you for $15 million flat in the UK," and instead they fought Povetkin.
Who's the A side in that negotiation that you said took place?
So who's the A side in the negotiation?
The negotiation that you said took place.
It depends on which part. The $50 million. The $50 million. The $50 million made Wilder the A side.
Said took place. It's a simple question. Who's the A side? Wilder's the A side with one belt versus a guy that's got three. Makes a lot of sense.
Okay, so when Canelo fought Triple G, how many belts did
filling up this
Canelo
arena,
fought
aren't they? Did you see the arena that they built for him out in Arizona, out in that desert?
Okay. When
I'm just gonna
Canelo
post
fought
this
Triple
in
G,
the chat right quick.
when Canelo fought Triple G,
There you go.
Stay on topic.
He had zero belts. Triple G had 3 belts.
Yeah, but
Canelo's
Canelo's the A side over a bunch of people, so that doesn't really.
Correct. That's why the
Wow.
so
Okay,
Anthony
Joshua.
So what we're saying is that
Anthony Joshua's the A side over.
No.
Anthony Joshua's the A side.
No. Actually, it's the money that's
Anthony
the A side.
Joshua is the A side over the heavyweight division. Right now, clear. Okay, Canelo is the A side over the middleweight division. Okay, Canelo's the A side over 168. Canelo's the A side over 175. Canelo will always be the A side no matter what belts. It's just like Floyd. Okay, so don't try to use Canelo and Floyd as like, oh yeah, those guys, they don't have belts on the A side. Of course they're the A side because they are bigger than the sport and they've earned that right. Most people would pay for that. So
I
know.
But wait, hold on. Let me get smoke. Let me get smoke again. Let me get smoke. Let me get smoke. I posted the YouTube video in the chat. Okay, now this is on April. Okay, and Eddie Hearn is talking shit about that offer that you're saying that is legitimate.
Yeah,
he's making fun of it. He's making He's making fun of it. He's saying, oh, it came from an email. All right, that who emails $50 million and doesn't put out term sheets or whatever he said in there. So you could go look at that. Now you just said that they were. All right, so cool. So then why the hell are you saying they were negotiating when in the
because
process
they were negotiating in May? Because they were negotiating in May, like I just said. In May,
bro,
he said
they
in
weren't,
April
bro.
he was saying proof of funds and all that shit. In May he was saying I never even asked for that, and we've been talking about it behind scenes, but I want to have to fight in the UK.
He did, okay. Can you provide an article for that? A link, something.
Sure. It's on Blue Blood. It's on Blue Blood Sports, and right now I'm putting up the article, which he says right now I'm showing you right now I'm looking up the article in which he says why he didn't take the $50 million, and it has nothing to do with failed meetings or proof of funds or none of that.
Another YouTube channel? Did you really just source that with Blue Blood?
I did.
No, it was an interview. It was an interview. You source Fight Hype for an interview. I'm sourcing Blue Blood because it's an interview. Well, whatever. Somebody did. Whatever. D did. D Jefferson did earlier. These are the interviews. These are channels that they did the interview on. Anyway, man, like, so you said a bunch of stuff about meetings and whatever. If you don't think.
Anyways, we're getting off topic. The original topic was the simple fact that if Anthony Joshua was saying the shit that Spence was saying about fighting Wilder, you would consider it a duck. And I don't care what you say, that's just a fact. And anybody listening to this will know that's a fact.
Listen, if Spence says to Crawford, give me XYZ. Give me this, give me $15 million, and Crawford goes, sure, here's your $15 million, and he doesn't take the $15 million, then I'm like, yeah, you ducked it.
I'm curious, how is, okay, if AJ ducked Wilder because they offered him $50 million and gave him 24 hours to answer it, if that's a duck, how the hell is Bud Crawford rolling up to Spence with his promoter in hand saying, hey, let's make a fight? And he says, I got to call Al and I got to take the easy route. How is that not a duck? He has his promoter right there, face to face. Let's make a fight happen. That's way more personal than saying, hey, we'll give you $50 million, but you can't see the terms. You got 24 hours to accept an offer, and you don't even know what the fucking offer is other than the money.
Okay, so again, it was Spence that rolled up on Crawford, not the other way around.
Right.
And then second, let me finish. And then also, like I said,
that's an opinion.
Okay, it wasn't an opinion. He went to it was a top rank event. It wasn't a PBC event. He rolled up to a top rank event because he knew Crawford was going to be there. Went into the catacombs with their fucking entourages to meet up. It's not like they wrote anyway. So the other part of it is if AJ had not asked for $50 million, I wouldn't be saying that AJ ducked at all. The only reason I'm saying AJ ducked is because he asked for the money and then didn't take it. That is why I say he ducked the fight.
The contract was never sent. The contract was never sent to accept it. You can't accept an offer without the contract.
I got it. The reason why they rejected the money wasn't
how can it be a duck?
for what you said. Again, like I said, the reason why they rejected the money from their own mouth was because they wanted to have a fight in the UK, not into the shit that you guys are now trying to say now. None of the stuff that you're trying to say now.
I'm glad you went full circle with that, because it goes back to the question I asked you a while ago that you still didn't answer. If Joshua's got the 3 belts and they're building stadiums out in Saudi Arabia just to watch him fight, how the hell do you have Wilder as the A side when the motherfucker can't fill up a civic center, man?
Okay, again,
because it's not
you're comparing apples and oranges.
No.
It doesn't have anything to do with it.
You're right. We are comparing apples.
Whether you have any, whether you not, whether you
just
have belts.
No,
listen. Whether you have belts, whether you have belts, whether you have belts. Listen.
Every time they go to make.
Oh my God, dude! Like you just keep going over and over. I'm trying to answer the damn question.
All right, but hold on. Was you done talking, Jake?
No. My point is in what world is I want him to explain to me how Wilder is the A side when he's got 1 belt, he's getting paid piss poor, nobody knows him in the United States, and they're building stadiums out in the desert in Saudi Arabia for AJ, who's carrying 3 belts, making hundreds of millions. I mean, he's worth how many hundreds of millions of dollars? How the hell is Wilder the A side on that?
Let me finish that question.
Of course, he gets to pick where they're going to fight.
Okay. All right.
Smoke. Hold on. Let Eric get in. You next.
You said the best in a stadium in Saudi Arabia when he had 3 belts. He had 0 belts. He just lost. He had just lost, and he got the biggest event still in boxing. So how is he not the A side? He had just lost his belt. He was trying to regain it, and he still got a stadium built for him. So how is he not the A side?
Okay, so again, we can throw the belt out of there because you just made the argument that the belt for himself, just right now, he didn't even have the belts, and he was the A side. So can we please stop equating the number of belts with the A side? And that was my overall point of bringing up Triple G in the first place, is that the belts have nothing to do with being the A side. Okay, let me. Okay. So let me exactly. You guys just keep going over and over.
Okay, let him talk, bro. Let him talk.
He just pigeonholed me, man. I'm not gonna let him stuff words in my mouth and not say nothing.
All right, dude. I got it. So I can't ever talk. You guys been just going on and on and on. You can address the pigeonhole after I'm done talking. How about that?
You're gonna talk
anyway. I got it. So let's just take off the table. Let's take off the table the fact whether or not the A side has anything to do with the number of belts, because it doesn't. You're talking about marketability, and what you're in the Saudi Arabia fight happened.
There again, you said
let me finish. Oh my God, dude. Anyway, the Saudi Arabia fight happened like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. The negotiations were in 2018 that we're talking about. So I don't understand how you're trying to attribute his Saudi Arabia success now with the negotiations then. So let me finish my statement. I don't know why you can't control yourself.
It's because you keep putting words in my mouth.
I got it.
I didn't say. So I'm going to address it just like you did on bias every time you did.
You are the one that keeps equating number of belts with being the A side.
No, that wasn't the only thing I said. I didn't say the belt made an A side. Did I not say he made hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars?
Is that one of the things? I didn't say it was the only thing. It's one of the things.
Absolutely.
Yes, that has nothing to do with it. That's what we're addressing. That specific point, it has nothing to do with each other. The number of belts don't have anything to do with the A side. Jesus Christ. Now, if you want to discuss whether or not they're the A side today, based on what the thing is today, you can't. Then you can talk about Saudi Arabia. But if you want to talk about who's the A side, then Saudi Arabia has nothing to do with it.
It's always been AJ. The only reason anybody even knows who Wilder is.
Okay, it was. You know when it wasn't AJ. You know when it was. You know when it wasn't AJ. When Deontay Wilder said $50 million to fight in the U.S.
Okay, hold on for a second. Smoke. I don't give a fuck If it was, hold up, bro, hold up. All right, man, hold on for a second. Now, I don't care if it was Saudi Arabia or if it was now, and I've been said this. Deontay Wilder has never been the A side over Anthony Joshua ever.
Never.
So, I mean, you can sit here and try to make a point that he said this or he said that. That's still irrelevant to the whole discussion. When you get to the whole discussion, he ain't never been the A side over Anthony Joshua.
That's what I've been saying.
Dude,
I mean, it's just that simple.
When he offered the 50 million, had he already fought Klitschko?
Yes.
He already fought Klitschko. So
Yep.
AJ was the A side anyway. After Klitschko, AJ was the A side. Deontay Wilder was sat ringside saying, "Oh my God, I want to do events like this. I want to do this. I want to do that." He was a very AJ. And talk about the Saudi Arabia thing, 2018. Saudi Arabia only came into the question. Wow, Adrian Reed, the contract for where they was going to fight was still up in the air. Cardiff was the main aim. It was going to happen at Cardiff, and then Saudi Arabia came with a big bid late on. And that's when it became Saudi Arabia. Talking about 2018, it happened this year, just last year, 2019, whilst there was negotiating where the fight was going to be. So don't talk about, the Saudi Arabia was negotiated in 2018. No, it wasn't. It was never negotiated in 2018. It happened after AJ lost his belt. Simple as that.
I don't know what the hell you're talking about. I said
that type of shit right there.
Transfer his
that shit right there.
2019 stardom to 2018. Because when first we were talking about whether or not he rejected the $50 million and who's the A side, and then you started talking about Saudi Arabia. Those two concepts don't match up in time.
No, they do. That's the point I was trying to make.
If you want to talk about who's the AJ, if you want to talk about who's the A side now versus who's the A side then, you cannot bring up Saudi Arabia.
Okay,
like that's if you and let. Saudi Arabia is about now. When we talk about then, as soon as Wilder put up $50 million, he became the A side. As soon as AJ rejected the $50 million, he went right back to his A side status as being the most popular guy and making the most money and all that stuff. But for a brief moment, when that fight was being negotiated, if that was a $50 million, if that $50 million would have happened for a fight in the USA, then Wilder would have definitely been the A side in that fight.
Nobody knows what the fuck you're talking about. You should change your name to Smoke and Mirrors, because that's all you've been fucking doing this entire fucking debate, man. Oh my God, it's entire bullshit, man. All that comes out of your mouth is rapid bullshit. Yo, oh my goodness gracious.
Okay. Well, what I just put in the link. I just put a link into the chat about what AJ said, why he said he turned down the $50 million. Ain't none of the shit that you guys are talking about. So now go argue with him.
Go argue with him.
All right, so I guess that topic.
The main question was, if AJ said what Earl said, would it be a duck? And you know for damn well you would be saying he ducked him. That's all we wanted to know.
If Errol Spence asked for some money and Crawford produced it, and Errol was like, "Nah, I'm not fighting unless okay," but he didn't though.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, but he didn't though.
Yes, he did.
That's what I mean.
Need to refresh your memory.
No, you're saying okay. Well, again.
Ask me when he said it instead of saying no, he didn't, because you don't even know what the hell I'm going to say, and you're already preloaded to say no, he didn't say that.
Okay, but because you said you already did. So if you already did, that means you already said it, and I heard what you already said.
What did I say?
You said he said when he's going to get a belt. I'll fight you as soon as you get a belt. You said it then. You said I'll fight the easier guys. You said another thing. You said there's 5 separate ducks. Right? Are you going to reiterate those 5 things?
If I need to, because I don't know.
Okay, but so that is what you said, though, right? That is what you said. So I am listening to you, and I did hear what you said. And what I'm saying to you is, if you feel that is a duck, fine. But that is not what he asked for. He didn't say, in order to fight you next, I need for you to get a belt.
So wait a minute.
That's not what happened.
So you saying that you heard everything the man said, and you're still going to be delusional.
It's all conjecture.
It's not delusional.
You're still going to be delusional about what the man is.
No, what I said was Spence. That's
So what
fine.
he said-
You can sound
so what
like
he said-
that to you all you want. What I'm saying to you is the reason why I said AJ was a duck, and the definition I gave why AJ was a duck, and if Spence were to meet that definition, then I would also call Spence a duck. Whether or not you think that is the case or not, that's up to you.
Which fight did Wilder? What fight put Wilder on the map?
It depends on what you mean by on the map.
Yep, there you go.
Some people say you just said he's not on the map at all. Right now, you said he's not even on the map at all. It depends on which map you're talking about. Charlie Zelenoff put him on the map to a certain extent.
Okay, I'll put it like this: what fight made him internationally known?
Charlie.
That's exactly right. You know what?
I'm saying
exactly right. That's the most views anybody's ever watched his fights.
I'm saying, like, what? I'm not sure what you. I mean, it could be.
And he still has more views fighting Charlie Zelenoff, dude. It's crazy.
Beating up a retard.
No, actually, it's Brazil got like 30 million views in like less than 24 hours.
Get out of here with that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm saying I'm not sure what your point. I'm not sure what your point is.
So you're saying Brazil put him on the map?
No, I'm trying to figure out what his point is.
An internet troll major guy famous point.
Wow.
Yeah, you're breaking up. I didn't catch that.
There you go, man. There's his logic. Charlie Z put him on.
It's true.
No, I didn't say. I didn't say that Charlie Z put him on. I just want to know what the hell he's talking about. You're like, what fight put him on the international stage?
Everybody else in the chat could understand what he's saying, but
each and every fight would put him on the stage to some extent. Bermane Stiverne, for him winning the belt, put him on the stage. Beating Ortiz the first time, put him on the stage. Coming with a draw, fighting Fury, that fight put him on the stage. Brazil put him on. Charlie Z put him on the stage. What are you talking? Like, really? What's your point?
Do you think Wilder's name is a household name in the United States?
Oh my God. I don't know. Probably not. No. No.
Do you have kids?
Yes.
Ask your kids which one. Well, you got boxing kids, so ask some of your kids' friends if they know who Wilder is, and then ask them if they know who his AJ is. I bet they're following AJ on Instagram, and I bet they have no fucking clue who Wilder is.
Man, you lost your mind.
Do it,
Facts, dude. Facts.
Man, you lost your damn mind. You lost your mind. Get out of here with that. Okay, because my son's friends here got the zone. Like, get out of here.
Facts. Right now, who's A side? Who's the A side right now?
You'd probably start debating the kids when they say AJ.
I don't think there is an A side in this. I think it's 50-50
right now.
How don't you know who Wilder is? You're debating the kids.
Ducks all in fights, right? That fucking hack don't know what.
We're not talking about belts, but revenue, everything else. How is it 50-50 that who the A side is? We all know it is the A side.
I'm saying
million for one fight.
Okay, if you believe he made 80 million, if you believe he made 80 million, you must believe that you must believe that he's an A-side.
I know he made more than 20 million.
Okay, if you believe he made more than 20 million, you don't know that he made more than anything.
He made more than anything.
Exactly, and if you believe that, then fine. Then you can believe he's the A-side.
So you don't believe that?
I don't know.
No,
I don't believe
that.
Hell, I don't believe anything that's knowable. Like, dude, I reserve my belief for like the shit, like the unknowable, for hereafter, life after death. Like, I don't believe shit about fighters' incomes.
How much do you believe that Wilder earned?
I don't believe anything. I don't know, man. This is about knowledge and lack thereof, not about what I believe. Like, get out of here with that.
Well, all right. So much for that conversation. Smoke, when you talk about Deontay Wilder, and you get Smoke all riled up when he almost turned the fire when you start talking about Wilder. That's the I know I can get some fire out of him is the Wilder topic because he ain't gonna give up. But I just
it's the narrative, man. It's the narrative.
Yeah, well, hold on. I'm just entertained with the amount of bullshit that you're able to come up with. So.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah. The bullshit game is strong, baby.
I definitely appreciate the show. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Boy, you got it all packed away, man. I gotta tell you. But I want to close the show because there's some new faces up here on the panel. So I wanted to close out talking about my guy here, Tyson Fury. So Eric, who you got? Who you got in this Fury fight? Fury Wilder rematch.
I think Wilder KOs in middle rounds. Simply because I think Wilder is purposely avoiding seeing Fury in this build up to it, so he doesn't get emotionally invested in it. And I just think he'll be more patient with that right hand and not telegraph it like the last fight. So I'm hoping Fury wins because I actually like Fury. But I think it's a middle round KO for Wilder.
All right. Jake, was you on here when we talked about this before?
Yep.
1, 2, 3, you was on here?
Yep.
Oh, all right. Smoke, I don't even need to know. I already know who you got.
I got Fury beating all the heavyweights, man. He's a better boxer than all of them.
Fury can outbox anybody. Every single heavyweight he can outbox and beat and make them look silly.
Absolutely.
I think Wilder may have learned.
I have a question for you guys. Do you think what are the chances of Fury not getting knocked down? Do you think Fury's gonna stay on his feet the entire fight?
I think
you know my
no, I wouldn't bet on that. Hell no, I wouldn't.
Well, here's my idea on it. I think he's capable of doing it, but that's just the question. If Fury can find a way to do that, he definitely wins the fight. Because here's something else: Wilder ain't gonna outbox Fury. That's not gonna happen.
Yeah, we all know that.
Well, if Fury gets his legs back, he'll tune him up. It is going to be stupid. I mean, look at what he did as a fat ass off the couch.
Yeah. So
I agree. Fury is more than capable of outboxing Wilder.
Absolutely.
100%.
Right.
I just think Wilder might be more patient.
If he gets knocked out, he will be winning the fight when he does.
I'm not even saying like winning. I'm saying, like Fury can still win and get knocked down. I'm just wondering if you guys think that he's going to actually go through the entire fight without getting knocked down.
Oh, I doubt it. I don't know. He might slip him. I don't know.
I don't doubt it. I say he can do it. I'm saying, well, I'm not saying he will.
No, he absolutely can.
That's the question if he will or not, but I'm saying he can do it, and I don't doubt that he can do it. Wilder, listen. Wilder sets up lower level fighters, bro. And Ortiz was probably one of the better level fighters than the guys he fought, because Ortiz was better than Stavern. He was better than Spoker. He had more power than those guys, but he wasn't all that great either. When you get up to a higher level fighter, it's harder to get. I know Wilder has good timing. I praise him for his timing and all of that, but it's harder to do that.
This is why I think he does catch him middle rounds.
Right.
Because Fury likes to play about. When he gets to those middle rounds, he likes, and especially if he's winning easy, he likes to showboat. He likes to do stupid things and he slips up. And he has done in a lot of Fury's fights. He slips up in a lot of his fights. He's just got away with it because the opponents aren't that great. He himself, when he was coming.
Yeah. So, I mean, look, man. The way I see it is like this. Fury's in much better shape than he was in that first fight.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that I'm really worried about for Fury in this fight, it's not about what he's going to do. He's been sparked by Wilder already, so he knows what he has to stay away from. The only worries that I really have for Fury in this fight is that eye. If Wilder cuts that eye back open. If he cuts that eye back open, Fury's in all kind of trouble. But if that doesn't happen.
If that cup reopens, they'll stop that fight. If that cut reopens, they will stop that fight. It won't be an auto walling where they let it go and they will stop that fight.
No, because Wilder will knock him out, bro. I think that I would say Fury would be in big trouble. I'm not understanding, but I think Wilder would get the knockout if he was able to cut his eye open.
That's a good point, D. But keep in mind too that it's on the other side of his face. It was the left hand that opened his eye up.
Yeah, I know. Right. I know exactly.
This is where
he would have to hit him with that weak ass hook that Smoke think is a dangerous hook.
He's gonna have to use his jab for the second time in his career. I've only ever seen Wilder use his jab properly against Severn in the first fight. That is it. Apart from that, he never uses it.
No, well, he used it in the Fury fight. He just got away from it. He used it early, and I think that's the success that he had early in the fight was because he was jabbing him to the body. But he got away from it and then started doing the jab, right hand, left hook.
He got away
did that
from
for
it.
6 straight rounds.
He got away from it because he got pushed away from it. Fury kept piecing his ass up. He was giving, but he was getting too.
Yeah, every time he threw it out, he got hit.
Yeah, and it was the person who was winning those exchanges when they actually exchanged. It was toss up. They have a bunch of exchanges. Stuff wasn't lasting. Like Fury was throwing punches, but they were landing. They were landing on Wilder's gloves. Wilder was slipping his shots. Whatever. To me, it was a snooze fest, kind of. And it was Tyson Fury running for his damn life, hoping that the right hand don't land. And that's what everybody was looking at. They were waiting for that thing to land, and it just
after it landed, and he got up and started beating on Wilder, he was worried about that right hand.
Well, the fight was over.
Oh, it was over.
Yeah, the fight was over.
So he wasn't getting punched in the face. The fight was over. So he's punching him after the bell.
No, what are you talking about?
I know. What am I talking about?
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
Okay, I'm saying that
he won the 12th round.
No, he didn't actually win the 12th round because he got knocked down in the 12th round. He actually lost the 12th round.
No. You're mistaking what I'm saying.
No, what you're saying is not correct.
No, listen. He lost the round 10-8 no matter what because he got dropped. But as it went on, he finished the round.
He won the rest of the round.
Yeah. But he didn't win the rest of the round. Actually, what happened was Wilder hit him again, and he absorbed that shot, and then Wilder rushed in and got hit with that cross that I said he's susceptible to when he runs in. And you know when that happened?
But let's erase that from your memory.
No, that's the last 45 seconds of the round. Now, I'm not erasing it. You guys are now translating that to he won the round. He didn't win the round because of that.
I know he said that. I never said he won the round.
Don't say no. That other guy did.
Nobody said he won the round.
That's what you just said. You said he won the round. You said he got up and won the round.
But then he explained himself, and you still don't want to understand it. You want to run with that narrative. That's what you're. I do.
Is what I said after he said that.
No.
All right.
Because what he said was not correct.
Hey, let me get some shout outs right quick. Shout out to Lady. What's up, Lady?
Because I had to clarify.
God damn it. Hold on, Smoke. Shout out to Lady. What's up, Lady? Coming in. My man Martin Machine just stepped up in the building. What's up, Martin Machine? And Brick City Chink up in the beast. What's up, Brick City? Okay, so Smoke. Baby. Shit. Not what they were saying, dog. You the master at trying to, flip people's words. I see what you be doing, man. That's pretty clever what you do, Smoke. But I'm like the host / moderator here, so you can't get away with that shit. But anyway, Tyson Fury is going to piece Deontay Wilder up, Smoke. I don't care what. It's just like this. Every one of these fighters that's at the caliber of a Deontay Wilder, and when I say caliber of Deontay Wilder, I want to say rely on a few things and not the complete sweet science. So, when they only rely on a few things, they can't beat a pure boxer, bro. And this is why Wilder's not going to be able to beat Fury, because he relies on few things, very few things. And the problem with him having to rely on very few things is when he goes to train and he trains for these new things with this great new game plan, and he gets in the ring, and fifth and sixth round kick in, and fatigue start hounding you, and you can't get to the man with these so-called new things you found. They're not working. He's going to resort back to the old things. And it's the old things that's going to get him outboxed, beat up, and get that green belt taken. I mean, it's just this simple. All of you Wilder fans, especially you, get this smoke. And, it's clear that you're a Wilder fan. But I have to tell you, bro. And I'm going to end the show on this, and I will let all you guys give your closing thoughts. But Smoke, my message to you is prepare yourself for the Bronze Bomber to be without the green belt. Because come February, Fury's unhanding that. You understand? So, everybody get their closing thoughts real quick, brief, guys. We've been on for like 3.5. It'll be 3.5 after we finish the closing thoughts. Smoke, give us your closing thoughts.
I'm excited that this the Spence-Crawford thing is heating up. I'm excited that Wilder Fury is inked and imminent. I don't think I'm going to be disappointed on my birthday. February 22nd is my born day. I'm looking forward to the fight. I hope that those ticket sales, those rampant ticket sales, have been done by third-party vendors, and I can get some damn tickets that aren't $1,000 nosebleeds. But yeah, if Fury got the horses to win, cool. I think that you guys are vastly underestimating both the talent and the skills of one Deontay Wilder. And on closing, when you say the pure boxer loses, what you're talking about is maybe once the athletic or the talented guys that what they rely on erode somehow, like say a Roy Jones versus James Toney, that kind of thing. The more athletic guy can actually beat the pure boxer, and I think they're both close enough to their primes to where Wilder actually gets the W either by straight knockout or by knocking that dude on his can so many times. Nobody can deny he won the fight.
Well, thank you, as always, for joining the panel, Smoke. Truth Bomb, Jake, give us some closing thoughts, brother.
First of all, Deontay Wilder isn't talented. Go watch him play all the other sports on his videos, and you can see he's about as uncoordinated as anybody gets, so he's not even an athlete, I don't believe. Second of all, good thing all these people around here got smoke alarms because we'd be up to our necks in bullshit. Have a good day, fellas.
All right, Jake.
Later, Jake.
Hey, my man, 1-2 Kid. Give me some closing thoughts, brother.
First off, let me thank you, D, for having me on the panel. Respect to the entire panel. I appreciate y'all, everybody in the chat, including Smoke on the platform because I like the fact that he sticks to his guns. He just the bullshit's on full auto. You know what I'm saying? So it just keeps coming out. But he sticks to his guns. So big ups to him for that. I just wish he would pay attention and learn a little bit about what's going on. But other than that, I mean, I think it should be a great fight. It's the the puncher against the boxer. And that's what we look for. Can the guy outbox him for 12 rounds or is he going to get clipped? I mean, that's what boxing is about. And, we disagree on a lot of stuff up here, but just know we just, sharing information and we always learning as we keep going. So this is the 1-2 Kid. I'm signing out. Thanks to everybody. And that's about it. Later.
Appreciate you, my man. Appreciate you. Eric in the building.
Peace.
Give me some closing thoughts, brother.
Yo, my thoughts. Bud just needs to concentrate on what he's been doing. Leave them PBC boys alone. They're gonna have to come and see him sooner or later. Wilder Fury, well, my opinion is my opinion. I think Fury will knock him out. I hope not, because I'm a Fury fan. I like Fury. I think the Fury AJ fight is a bigger fight in the UK, and hopefully I can go watch that. But yeah, I've been wanting to do a live for a long time. Thanks for putting me on, and I appreciate it. Hopefully next time I'll be on again.
Yeah, man. You know, when I go live, make sure you hit that bell icon. You know what I mean? So then when I go live, you can jump on, and I always put it down there in the chat. And like today, we got kind of backed up, so sometimes you might have to wait a couple or something like that because there might be some people waiting. But I get you on, bro. You know, I like to let everybody get up here. I was kind of quiet today. I kind of let everybody else talk. I think it was good, man. Y'all guys had a good discussion going there. Smoke, like I said, man, I appreciate all you guys coming on. As much as you guys appreciate me having you on, it goes both ways. And I appreciate the whole Speak Your Mind Sports Talk family, all the support, y'all. Appreciate y'all, man. Everybody make sure y'all hit that thumbs up, too. Hey, Angel, what's up? Appreciate you coming through.
Shit happens, niggas want me to talk about it. They love gossip, niggas want me to talk about it. It's all over the gram, so I'ma talk about it. You heard what happened? Niggas want me to talk about it.